Big up every single one of you. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Casually Chelsea show. I'm accompanied by the starting panel of Scott, Ahmed, the Bridge Nation, and CP. Ladies and gents, you already know what to do. Smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Also, be sure to check out the links in the description for everyone here's content, as well as my own content and all that stuff, music and all that. Be sure to check out memberships. There's 4 different tiers starting at 99p. You get some cool emojis when you join in at the whatever tier, actually, to be honest. So it could be the very first tier. And yeah, you get access to a bunch of emojis. So big up to every single one of you for that and the support you guys have been showing. Channel's been growing. You guys have been smashing the likes, and I have been very much thankful and grateful for all that. Yeah, I'll be so honest with you guys. Not much has been happening, which is kind of annoying. But at the same time, it's kind of like a nice little break from the fiasco that was happening in the beginning of the windows. And I say the windows because it was the first window where things were popping off and going crazy. But we still have plenty to talk about here on the channel and plenty to discuss. So stay tuned. If you are at work or if you're watching this in the future, you know, sit back, relax, put us in the background, and let us help you get through your day. All right, cool. We'll start off with the first thing I wanted to talk about, which is going to be a tradition until it's done, and it's going to be every 4 years. And might as well talk about some of the reactions we had to the games we watched since the last show. Ahmed, you actually watched the game. Porto Al Ahly. Talk to us about your boy Samu.
Did he actually watch that game?
He did. He did. Halftime, but he did. He actually sat there and watched it because agendas are important. Agendas take priority over football. Right, Ahmed? Isn't that what you said?
I will not speculate on comments that have been made at previous moment in time.
I'll kick him off, man.
That's not even a speculation, bro. Like, you know what? No. Scott's right. Straight red. Starting off the game. This is like what's that game? There's 7 minutes into it. This is like oh, Real Madrid. You just pulled congratulations, Asensio. Get out of here. Nah, calling him Asensio was kind of foul. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually, when you think about it,
he's not Asensio, guys.
It's
Asensio's much worse. But that's relevant because we're talking about, you know, reacting to the Club World Cup stuff, and that did just happen. So, yeah, I don't know if I can give myself a yellow for that one. VAR check on that one. We'll VAR check it. But yeah, I mean, there was a fuck ton of there was some decent games in the last 72 hours since we did the show. I watched, so after we were done on the stream, I watched I think it was on Monday, actually. After I was done with the stream on Monday, I watched the Inter Miami game and the Al Ahly game. And holy shit, man. The Inter Miami game was fun to watch too. Don't get me wrong. Both of them were really good watches. I think Inter Miami ended up being. How did they finish? Did they finish first in their group?
Yeah, they finished second because they drew 2-2. They would have gone through first, if they'd have won, but they conceded like in the 87th minute.
They did, yeah. They conceded kind of late, but I mean, it was a little bit of a. It was a good match. I mean, Inter Miami conceded the lead, but Suarez, bro. Just, I was making fun of him a lot this tournament because he just looked so uninvolved. Obviously, because of his, his athleticism now. He's getting up there in age, and it's just doesn't move as quick as he used to. But he had that one goal where it was a brilliant goal, and in the near post, brilliant goal from Suarez. Like, I gotta give it to him. I think he helped build up the play for the first one too. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, Inter Miami just taking advantage of that high line that Palmeiras had, and Palmeiras was struggling, but 80th minute they broke through, and all of a sudden it was a game, and it was a fun one to watch. I mean, I wish I was at that Porto game, to be honest. The Porto game, I can't even summarize that one. That was so back and forth. It was blow for blow, really, and it's unfortunate because Al Ahly. I feel like Al Ahly deserved to go into the next round. I think the first game against Inter Miami, I think they should have won. They had chances, but they just couldn't put it away. Then they lost against Palmeiras, which that was fitting, whatever. But then against Porto, like, goddamn, bro, just goalkeepers on Costa especially too on fraud watch. I mean, he's been on fraud watch, to be honest.
He didn't play, did he?
I thought he was in there. I'm pretty sure. Let me check.
He didn't play the first two games. I don't know if he played the third game.
I'll check right now.
No, he didn't play any of the games. He's been injured.
All right, never mind. Costa's replacement on fraud watch. But yeah, which games did you guys watch? Did you guys watch any of those games?
I watched the Inter Miami game. That was a great watch. Like, some of those players, Busquets still has it. Like, you can... Those guys, especially as well, obviously Messi's Messi, but looking at Busquets and Suarez, like, you can take away players' legs. If they have the... If mentally they're still there, like, they're still unreal players. Like, they've obviously lost a step, like Suarez especially, compared to last season. His knees have been cooked since he went to Brazil, and that was 3 years ago, I think. But he's still an unreal player, and he's still, like, if you give him opportunities and you give him moments where he can shine, like, he's still got it, man. Him and Busquets were unreal. Like, Miami in general defended great that game. Some of their players actually stepped up, which is not interesting to see because they haven't done all season.
That is true. It wasn't just Messi for once.
Hey, kick him off again.
Is that how you snore?
No, why are you here?
What is happening?
I'm here to talk about Chelsea Football Club, not some nonsense Inter Miami nonsense.
I mean, we'll talk.
I don't care, bro. We'll get there. You can sit backstage, bro, if you want.
Man, what 3,000?
Wait, hold up. One of our players played against Inter Miami. Esteval Palmeiras.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
he's not our player. He's not our player until July.
He is
until July. He's not a player.
He is our player. He's on.
Until July, he's not a player. Until July, he's not a player, mate. That's it, man. Simple as that.
Actually, not until July. Until whenever they get kicked out, he's not.
So,
that's true.
Let's keep it real, man. Let's keep it 100% Buckaroonies.
You guys think Esteban needs to go home to Brazil first to grab his stuff and then come to London, or does he just go?
There we go. Theory crafting.
Does he just join the Chelsea game? And then go
with theory crafting. We're making assumptions. That's why that we don't like to see around here, but that's what we do.
These are the things that we don't think about, ladies and gents. You know, we can
A
talk
lot
about
of
football all you
speculation.
want, but what about what happens in the
a lot of
background?
speculation. You know, that's what we're here for, to be speculation FC, as we like to call it.
I'm giving you a warning for that one.
But my man should be off already. This guy's done nothing.
He might be suspended for 3 games.
That was a really good. I can't remember what
that happened in real life. Hold that, bro.
Watching Esteval it was interesting. Like he's definitely got, I don't say worse because that implies he's been bad, but he's not. First game he was great. Second game he was fatiguing. I don't know if it's fatiguing. It's like he just didn't look
every 3 days, bro. So,
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if it's fatiguing. That's normally saying it's not. I just don't know. But like, yeah, it's just that game against Inter Miami. He definitely didn't look anywhere near as sharp as he did in the first game against Porto.
to be fair,
he had a couple nice moments, but not anywhere near enough. Especially considering you like the level of team he was playing against. Like he was playing against an MLS left back. It's like you expect him to do better than he did, but no, Palmeiras did really well to come back in. Inter Miami kind of led them back into. To be fair, but that game was great. What other games did I watch?
Did you watch the River game yesterday?
I didn't in the end. No, I should have done.
Sorry, Kai, he has watched the Chelsea game. He was watching the 2 a.m. Chelsea game. So it's not like he's not watching Club World Cup.
Yeah, but
he's still waking.
Again,
so Kai, you're different. You're not watching. You're just not watching the Club World Cup at all, including Chelsea. This man didn't watch along.
CP is not looking at this in the version. I am doing the Chelsea 2 a.m. kickoff stuff because it's part of my channel. It's a part of my brand. I have to watch those sort of games. You know what I mean? Ideally, I would be in bed. You know what I mean? Ideally, I would be in bed. You know what I mean? But obviously, I need the £3. You know what I mean? I'm trying to buy, some miscellaneous stuff, that I don't want to use my own money for. So listen, that's all. Shout out to subscribers for paying.
So that's where the samurai sword came from. Okay, gotcha.
Did anyone watch the River game?
I should have done. No, I should have watched the Monterrey game. 4-0.
Well, it was 4-0. Urawa Reds had some decent chances based on the highlights that I saw. But the River game, dude, that was a good game. River versus oh my God, how am I forgetting? Inter. It seems like Acuna and Dumfries still have beef, bro.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah,
dude, it was insane to see it. But like that River game was a good watch because River actually had some chances and unfortunately just weren't clinical. They kind of kept Inter quiet as well. And the River Plate keeper had so many good chances, but saves, I should say. But dude, the stupidest way to get sent off and ruin the game for River was the player who got sent off. He was Mkhitaryan. Gets past him, or dribbles the ball forward ahead of him, and it's Mkhitaryan, bro. Like, I'm sure the defender could have probably caught up to him, but because he was gonna go one-on-one with the keeper, tackles him, Mkhitaryan goes down, and he gets sent off, and it just, at that point, like, River really couldn't do much of anything. And that was Inter's game that they could have just drew and they would have qualified to the next round. So there was not really that much pressure on Inter to score a goal or get into it. But eventually they won just for a safe net. DeMarco had a good amount of he had a good game as well, but he got taken off. Dumfries was beefing with Acuna. And yeah, they eventually scored. Maso Antonio couldn't do much by himself. I think another River player got sent off at the end as well, and then they were trying to tell Acuna not to kill Dumfries or what was going on. They pretty much tackled the guy down so he didn't go into the no, apparently Dumfries told him, let's talk in the tunnel away from the cameras, is essentially what I heard was said. And so that's why they both were running towards the tunnel, but the manager and half of or a good handful of the River Plate team pretty much tackled Acuna down and didn't let him move. So, but that game was intense. And then Monterrey doing what they did. They understood the assignment. Monterrey needed to win by 3-0 or by 3 goals in order to qualify regardless of the score.
It was 2 goals.
No, it was 3. Well, actually, two, yeah. Because 2 would have gotten them in second place.
Third would have got, if they got scored 3 goals and Inter and River had drawn, they would have gone top. But they needed 2
we
goals
talked about this yesterday. No, that was a good game to watch, man. I mean, they were both good games, but the Inter game was fucking phenomenal. I was really happy with that one. I didn't get to watch Boca get, slapped up by semi-pros. They're really. I've heard the Boca fans talk about it. They're absolutely embarrassed about that. I mean, I know RSM told me this is like the worst Boca side in years. Based off of how they played against Benfica, I was like, oh, maybe it's not that bad. But come on, man. Like, to not be able to beat Auckland, that's kind of embarrassing. No disrespect to Auckland. I don't know if you guys watched any other games aside from the ones that we just spoke about.
I pretty much just watched the Chelsea game and the Inter Miami game, to be honest. Yeah,
Chelsea, Inter Miami. The Al Ahly game was fun. Like I said, it was a score fest. Just goal after goal after goal. Definitely, those keepers have a lot.
Let's not speculate, Adrian, please. Let's not speculate, Adrian. We don't know what he went through with him in the tunnel.
Fair enough. But yeah, other than that, though, now I know Juve just got destroyed by Man City. We're gonna speculate, despite what Ahmed's saying here. 5-2 Man City. Is this showing how shit Juve is, or Man City just how good they've been with their new signings?
Probably the former.
Yeah, Juve not too solid. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Just look at the team they played and just it's like.
I mean, this doesn't look like a. This doesn't look like they put out their starters. I'll be so honest.
They kind of did. Well, it depends on who you define as starters, because like they played
start for them.
Yeah, Vlahovic isn't a starter.
Here.
Julius didn't start. But outside of that, like, I'm looking at most of the other guys, and most of the other guys are starters. They just don't have a great team.
That's sad to see, man. Juve.
If you wait, I just also rejected his move to Forest, so they've got him back now.
Who?
Tim Weah, your boy, the US guy.
Oh, Tim Weah.
That's jokes.
They moved to Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, I mean, like, who else didn't start here? Moani is kind of a starter, right? Isn't Kozinsawa a starter as well? Cambiasso is a starter, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it just didn't look like they put out their best lineup, but even regardless, man, 5-2 to City is crazy. City put out a strong team. You had Rodri and Reinders in the same team. Like, I kind of wish I saw that game just to see those players play together in a midfield. Ait Nori's been a really good signing for them so far. Jeremy Doku started. Savio was on the right there. Marmouche was on at the attack. No Haaland, but that's probably fine. You want to give Haaland minutes. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Now, how does that form the group? Let me see the table.
And see, you're on our side of the bracket.
20 minutes on Club World Cup. Bloody hell,
There's a bracket here. Here we go. I have the bracket here. I can just pull it up. Boom. All right, cool. And we'll pull it up right here. There you go. It's hard to see it. Give me a second. I believe this is our bracket. So I guess the loser or the second place of the Al Hilal, Real Madrid, Salzburg, and Pachuca group is going to be who we face. And it could be, or be in our bracket, I should say, it could be Real Madrid. Real Madrid aren't, like, you know, haven't solidified first. But I think they're going to finish first. I don't see RB Salzburg making them drop points. And then Al Hilal have to beat what team did they have to beat? Oh, Pachuca. So that should be an interesting match, Al Hilal versus Pachuca. But then this is where, like, yeah, obviously this is where the Club World Cup gets really interesting. We got some really good matches here. Inter Fluminense is going to be a good match. Like, I mean, honestly, all these matches are going to be good. I'm assuming this is probably going to be. This might be Salzburg. Actually, no, it might not be Salzburg. It could be Al Hilal or Salzburg. PSG, I think, is going to win this one. Flamengo Bayern is not going to be an easy one for Bayern. Juve against, I guess, whoever. It's probably going to be Real Madrid. And then Dortmund, Monterrey. That'll be an interesting one, too. So there's some interesting matchups now in this knockout round. It's going to be spicy. You guys interested in any of the ones, or which of the knockout ones, which ones do you guys think are
ignoring him, because I'd like.
Is that my second yellow?
Yellow for poor soundboard usage.
Is it that's my second yellow? That's my second yellow. I'm off.
No, you got a warning before.
I mean, he's on a red card.
You got a direct red. You served your suspension and you came back, so now you're on your first yellow.
You know this one. He's sleeping.
Is that a? What the fuck? I don't even know, bro. You're ridiculous. What were you gonna say, Scott?
I'm interested in the Palmeiras game. Palmeiras Botafogo, that should be good. And then obviously, like, it's going to be a massacre, but I'm interested in the PSG Inter Miami game. And actually, the Dortmund Monterrey game should be quite good as well.
Yeah. What about UCP? Are you looking forward to any of these knockout stage matches, or anyone that tickles your fancy? CP might be AFK.
Wow.
Chat. Let me know which ones.
Sorry.
These. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for the Palmeiras Botafogo thing. As we talked about offline, I hope there's football heritage. If you know, you know. But actually, no. But honestly, there's no that thing's going to be a good match because Botafogo beat Palmeiras to a title last year. So there could be some animosity. They are rivals in general.
There probably will
actually.
be animosity, 100%.
So it's going to be, I think, even worse then, especially if, like Esteval said, like I'm excited to join Chelsea, but hope to send off Palmeiras in a good way. So, you know, beating your rival that beat you to a title to hopefully progress in the Club World Cup is probably going to be a great incentive for him. So, you know, I would expect him to have a lot of motivation in general. So, yeah. And that's not me speculating. I think that's a general statement that I think he would have a lot of motivation because he's quoted that he wanted to, you know, play for Palmeiras. So.
I won't lie though, like of all the games that are coming up outside of our games, obviously I'm interested in our game, but outside of our game, the game I'm really am most excited about is that Botafogo Palmeiras game, just because like what I've liked a lot about this tournament has been just the intensity of it all between the fans, just the hostility that's been there. And how, like, you know, I've grown up watching South American football, so I've always seen that. But it's nice to see it again, and now you're seeing it against like European clubs and stuff like that. So it's nice to see how, like, you know, it's just something new, something refreshing to bring into the game for a lot of the teams that aren't like of the South American contingency. So it's just
like Botafogo, knocking out, in a sense, Atletico Madrid, where Ahmed had his favorite player Gallagher, so you know they can hold that. You know what I'm saying? Brazilian teams knocking out European giants.
I want to say, on a personal note, congratulations to Atletico Madrid for getting kicked out this early. Look at what it's going to do a wonder for their players, resting them, recuperating for the new season. Credit to Atletico Madrid for losing.
Yeah, man, not winning anything anymore.
Atletico Madrid.
That feeling when they don't win the league next season, so it doesn't matter.
You know what I mean? What are we winning next season?
We could at least win an epic
domestic
Club World Cup. You know, we could win the Club World Cup. You know what we could do?
They can win the Club World Cup. They can win the Copa del Rey.
No, they can't win the Club World Cup because they're not in it anymore. We have a chance to win it.
Copa del Rey, keyword.
What a trophy!
See, listen, what a trophy for us right now. We ain't got a trophy yet, have we?
We could win the Club World Cup. We're in a competition to win a trophy.
Speculation again.
Why did you just speculate about Copa del Rey?
Yeah.
No, I said to you, those were the available cups to win.
Yeah, and Club World Cup is an available cup now.
No, it's
for
not,
us.
because right now we need to get to the final, and then it's available for us.
They need to get to the final of Copa del Rey, and then it's available for them.
We're still in it.
I mean, I feel like right now we're debating.
That's what it sounds like, bro.
Right now. What's funny about this thing that they're trying to cook me for? That's a form of speculation. You know what I mean? They're trying to, you know. There we go. So,
I told you mute him. I told you mute him.
You cannot violate him.
Mute him. Thank you. Anyways, continue, Marshall. This fraud.
Speaking of Club World Cup, this is not speculation. We're making bank. We're out here making money. So this will start off the show. Let's talk about this. So after reaching the round of 16 in group stage of the Club World Cup, Chelsea have earned $9.5 million to date. Chelsea also expect to receive $30 million in participation fees awarded to European clubs with the highest sporting metrics and commercial strength. Total $40 million, i.e. this paid for the lap pretty much. This tournament so far, we've paid for the lap.
Great.
Yeah. It's great.
Hey,
Great
Yeah,
business.
so listen,
business.
If you include
What
the
I would
Kepa
say-
money, we're almost at
what I
the
would say-
evaluation for Mike Maignan too. You know what
What
I'm
I
saying?
Yeah,
would say
no,
right
this is what I'm
now-
thinking. Like the further we go into this tournament,
We're not getting
the more
no, we're not
money
getting-
we can raise from Mike Maignan.
No, we're not. We're not doing it though, Marcel. I was just joking. It's called sarcasm.
Can you tell me how much we get for playing the last 16? Because we have to add that to this fee, by the way.
No,
Well,
this
this
for
is
reaching
what-
the last 16 though.
for
This is
reaching
just for
it.
reaching the last.
No, but
Oh,
we
I don't know
haven't.
how
This
much
is
it's
not
reaching
including the
though.
last 16 game as well. It's not including the last 16
Yeah,
game as
that's
well.
true. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So you need to add that in it. You know what I mean? You need to add that a little bit of
Isn't that, but isn't that
one.
speculation for us beating a team?
No,
in the
because we're
last-
gonna be in that game. We're gonna be in that game. So that's not even speculation at all because they're gonna
Yeah,
be
but,
that.
but there's a minimum and maximum for beating it and losing it, right? So
It doesn't matter. We can just add that in. That's not even
Yeah.
speculating at all. I'm not speculating that. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose.
Sounds like
I'm not.
speculation to me.
No, that's not speculation. Speculation is me
Oh.
saying we're gonna do something. I'm saying there's two options. Let's see what value it is, and that's what we're probably gonna have at the end of the season. No speculation there.
30
I care
million
at
for
all.
participating. Then it's 2 million per winning. So that's 4 million we've gotten for winning.
34. Yeah.
The 2 games is. Wow.
Oh.
7.5
Okay, here you go,
for
here.
round of 16.
USD, yeah, 7.5 USD, so about what, 6 million pounds? Yeah.
No, let's do it in dollars. Keep it in dollars. Keep it in dollars.
Yeah, just
Okay,
keep it on,
$7.5 for 7.5 million.
So
for round of
so
16.
basically we're on
So
40.5. We're on about
that's-
40.5. 40.5. Right?
Yeah, and then quarterfinals is 13, semis is 21, finalists is 30, and the
So
winning is
40. So you said what? How much was the last 16?
that 7.5.
Oh yeah. So right now we're on. So we're on 40.5. So that's correct. Yeah, 40.5.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, look at that. Making some money, paying for the lab, paying for transfers. Next one is Maignan. Let's get to the quarterfinals. If we get to the quarterfinals, that pays for Maignan, guys. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But yeah, so far Chelsea been making some good money off of this. I think that's the biggest incentive for a lot of these clubs, obviously, to make money off of this. And I mean, claim that you're the club champion or the world champion, I should say, for 4 years. You get to wear
What's
that
happened?
badge for 4
What
years.
happened to the game, man? All we're talking about is the money. Bloody hell, man. We're not even talking about the sport anymore,
No,
man.
we're talking about winning something and being there for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Having
know what I
that
mean?
golden badge in our
You know
crest
what I
for 4
mean?
years.
Just talking about money that we're going to be making in the tournament. Can you talk about this winning the tournament, please?
I mean, if you want to talk about
You
winning,
did. You said we were speculating, so
yeah, exactly.
No, the
If you
point
wanna
I'm trying to
talk
make, the
about
point I'm
winning,
no.
Let's talk
Wait,
about the
wait.
fact that
Listen,
Chelsea aren't that, right?
Listen. The point I'm trying to make again, when I talk about speculation, I'm talking about speculating on stuff that's gonna happen. I'm talking about just in general, philosophy-wise. Football's just about winning in general. That's not even speculation at all, and we barely talk about that. We just talk about earnings. Can we stop talking about earnings, please? You know what I mean? I feel
Bro,
like
You're
we're in
speculating
NBA
about what
sport.
football's about, man. Honestly,
I'm speculating how
Honestly,
football is.
yeah,
Is
bro.
football about winning or losing, Marshall?
Football, it's
Football
not about.
is-
It's not about
We're
winning.
speculating
It's
how
about
football
the journey
is
and
not
friends you
about
make along
winning.
the way, bro. It's about the story you tell in that journey, bro. That's what football.
This is not okay. You know what? Let me just shut up. This is crazy.
Wait, Marshall, look at us. I know me and Scott have the cameras off. Look at us in the eye and say that what's act like. Are you being serious? Like, I just want to make sure you're not an Arsenal.
You can pretend that Scott's Avi and CP's Avi are like the eye sockets. You could just look at them.
Sure,
both
yeah,
that
sure,
way.
yeah. So, are you being serious about this friends we made along the way bullshit?
Oh, you're talking to me.
Yes, I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's about the journey, guys. It's about the
Fuck
journey.
off. Nah,
Yeah.
I'm not.
about
This
the
is an
journey.
Arsenal channel. No, this
Well,
is so
listen, man. Shout out to Marshall with the theory crafting, man. He's done
Listen,
he's done amazing theory
I'm just
crafting.
saying.
guy.
I'm just saying. It's about the journey, just like for Bettinelli. You know, it wasn't about the journey. That's why he's leaving us. So Marcus Bettinelli says the prospect of working with winners was why he swapped life as backup goalkeeper at Chelsea for Man City. We also continue here an extension of what he said. Right. I think obviously when you get a phone call from Man City and you get a chance to work with winners and Pep, who's won everything in his career, to learn from him, to see how he works, to see his mentality that the lads have in his team, it was near impossible for me to say no. And I get it. I don't blame you, Bettinelli. I've always been a London boy, so leaving for myself and my family was obviously always a big decision. But when Man City phone, these ideas kind of go out the window. You only really have one choice, and that is to go because it is once in a lifetime opportunity, I guess. And then on the comment of winners, I figured I'd shoehorn this one into this one too. I think people are overreacting to it, to be honest, but let's see. So Edu Mendy came out with the comment about joining Al Hilal, and he said the following: Al Ahly, not Al Hilal. From the start, I always said that when I left Chelsea, I knew I was joining another team where I could win everything, which was no longer the case at Chelsea. I don't think he actually said this, or if he did say it's not meant to be read the way it reads, which is, he left because he didn't think he could win everything.
This is the problem
at Chelsea.
again. Speculation. Okay, they're telling you are speculating. Oh, he didn't mean this. Do you know Edward Mendy's feelings? Do you know?
Marshall, I can't. Marshall, I can't.
No,
Marshall, I genuinely can't.
No. You can't even. You don't even see the little. Because I'm actually being honest here. Have you watched the video? Do you know how he said it? Do you know how he feels? Like, let's be honest, bro. A lot of that speculation, all we can do is deal with the facts. And the facts is, that is what he said, Marshall. Yeah, I love it. Hate it or love it. That's what he said, bro. That's what he said.
I don't know. Oh, there you go. Thank you.
Get off my pitch. I'm the captain now. You like that one? You like that one, Ahmed? Guys, do we care about this? Let's be real. Like, do we care about this? I feel like people are blowing. Like, Ahmed's not wrong. That's why I let him go, because he wasn't actually trolling. He was being genuine. But like, the thing is, I've already kind of put myself in this mindset that unless it's Ornstein now, I've kind of learned to just question everything when it comes to these journos. So I feel like this little hyphen here, it kind of tells me like, wait a minute, was there a part of the quote that is being left out here? I don't know. To me, I just don't see Mendy being the type of person to intentionally disrespect Chelsea, considering we basically, well, it wasn't just us. Obviously, Rennes did it too, but that's where we got him from, Rennes, right? He was looking for a job. I mean, he was unemployed. We basically gave him a second chance at life, or to make it in a career, and he did. So I don't think Mendy does strike me as someone who's a very grateful and an appreciative person. So I just don't see him actually saying this in a malice way. You know what I'm saying? It could just be me though. I don't know if you guys agree or not, or if you guys even care. Damn.
I don't know. The Bettinelli one especially doesn't mean shit, because man's going from one third choice bench to another third choice bench. So I don't know. He's probably earning more money for that one. But the Mendy one, I can half believe it, but him saying he's not leaving Chelsea for money is the biggest pile of bullshit ever, because he could have, he was one of the best goalkeepers at the time, like a season before he left. Right, won that award and stuff like that. So if you're telling me he couldn't have somehow moved to a team from PSG to even some Ajax or anything like that. You're telling me in Europe that always win leagues, and that he had to go to Al Ahly? What you're telling me? He couldn't play for Galatasaray? No, that's a half truth of you saying it wasn't for the money. You could say, sure, we weren't winning. We're not a winning organization anymore. I can believe that, but you saying it was strictly for that and not the money is pure bullshit, because he could have gone to Gala or any of these other clubs that win their leagues most of the time. So that's the part where I disagree with.
Scott, any thoughts on this, or you don't care? Oh, Scott may have been AFK. You're muted, by the way, Ahmed.
Scott's speculating, inside his head, so we don't care about Scott anyway.
I want to break
I just want to add some context here. Firstly, Marshall is wrong about Edouard Mendy, and this is not speculation. Edouard Mendy was a starting goalkeeper for Rennes when we brought him. Actually, he was not, in the job center. That was happened.
I mentioned
2 seasons. That was 3 seasons prior to us, by the way, 2 to 3 seasons prior to us. So he was earning good money at the time. You know what I mean? He was earning legal money.
I do love giving people the benefit of the doubt.
So
not everything is black and white.
So yeah, well, listen, I'm not. You know what I mean? I've got my fact sheets. You know what I mean? No speculation, just facts. But as I've said before, at least with him, in particular, listen, if he said it, he said it. It is what it is. I don't really care. He said it. That's what's apparently been reported. And I don't give a shit what he says. I don't give a shit what Bettinelli says. I'll be so honest. I don't care. If you've been going to win stuff at Man City, good for you. Go win your stuff, bro. You're 31, 32 years old. You're going to be enjoying your life as a keeper. Earn your keep. I'm happy for him. I don't think there's anything wrong with what he's done. More power to you, bro.
Dude,
I sometimes think. I sometimes wonder. Yeah. Listen, I sometimes wonder if a lot of these guys, man, like, when you are making these posts, when you are making this stuff, like, when you are making these comments in the media and stuff, like, bro, just say, oh, listen, I moved. It is what it is. The game's the game. Keep it pushing. You know what I mean? I don't understand why you have to continuously try to disparage, the place you came from, bro. You know what I mean? Okay, the jig's up. We just move on. You know what I mean? It's quite simple. But for some reason, these guys just can't move on.
Yeah, I mean, we got rid of him. When did we get rid of him? Did we get rid of him?
We literally got rid of him. We literally got rid of him, bro. In the same window, we got rid of Ziyech and everyone else. So it was a summer with Bowley.
The Koulibaly window, right? In January?
Yes.
So he was with us when the whole Roman sanction happened.
It was the season after, bro. It was the season after they got.
Well, no, I'm saying he was with us when the Roman sanction happened.
Yeah. He was here for 2 seasons and a half. 2 seasons for us. 2 seasons.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he said what he said. I think it is taken a bit out of context because it's just written in text. I would like to see the interview myself.
You can literally see it, bro. It's a BBC interview. If you just tap it, it's free. They won't even flipping copyright claiming the BBC.
There was no video or anything.
It should be on there, bro. The one that the tweet you've got should have a video of it. It's BBC.
It's not. I'm not joking. There's not.
Oh.
There's no video here.
But this is BBC Sports is very reliable, bro. So that's what I'll probably say.
Yeah, no, it's just, I don't know. I seeing something written in words versus actually being said is, can always be a little different. It could be up for misinterpretation, but hey, if he said it, I don't really care either. To be honest, it's not that big a deal. Like, it's not like my manager said it or some shit. So that is what it is. Okay, then let's go on to the next one. So, Strasbourg are in the U.S. Strasbourg are in the U.S. What do I mean by that? This is what I mean by that. Let's go ahead and pull it up. Okay, Blue co-leaders invited Strasbourg president Mark Keller and coach Liam Rossignol to the United States this Wednesday to spend a few days with Chelsea's sister club. It's also an opportunity to discuss the summer transfer window. Good. Let them see who potentially from Chelsea they could use on a loan. The ones that are still up for debate, you got the Anselminos, Mamadou Sarr, Paez and stuff like that. I hope they're also involved with training, and so, not involved, but in terms of able to watch training as well. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's much to add to this. You guys have any opinions on this before we move on? I think it's interesting.
Not much to say, really. They're going to be here. They're going to discuss transfers, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Good show.
No,
Good show.
I do want to say one thing. These Strasbourg fans better not bitch and complain about us because Lyon just fucking got relegated because of their finances. So if these people bitch and if these people keep on bitching and complaining right now, while you're seeing clubs like Bordeaux and Lyon, pure legacy teams in the French league, being relegated because of their finances, and these guys are now in a European spot and could earn and got some money from us because we bought Star from them and could sell other players like Desiree Doué's older brother, right, to AC Milan or whatever. They're making money. So these guys, I don't want their fucking stupid fan base to bitch and complain. I can understand it if they were 16th and in money trouble. But right now they're strong financially and they're in Europe, which they haven't been in a while.
Yeah, when was the last time they ever went to Europe? Does anyone know?
It's their first time in quite a while. I think it's quite a while. I know I think they were sixth like 4 years ago, but I don't think they were in Europe at that point because I don't think sixth place was Europe. So this is their first time in quite a while, Marshall.
Yeah. No.
As I always said, when it comes to Strasbourg, I always understand. I agree. I understand why they're upset because I think for them, being a part of like a sister club, particularly with Chelsea and stuff like that, it's going to be very hard for you to build a team that's going to win a title for you because, if Chelsea win a title, you win a title, it's never going to work.
Yeah, no, I understand. I think it's also what we were talking about, the actual culture of football and how it's changing, and they just don't want to be a part of that culture. It's, the French contingency just not trying to keep traditions strong. Okay. I mean, speaking of
Lyon was trying to keep traditions strong, and where the fuck are they? Bordeaux is not even a fucking club anymore, so those traditions keeping strong.
I'll be honest, the Lyon case is a bit different because the Lyon case, what happened with them was that they, I think French PSR is that you can't be 500 million in debt, if I'm not mistaken, and they're 500 million in debt, basically.
That's what I'm saying. It's
in the UK, you can be 1 billion. You can actually be 1 billion in debt.
Yeah, because they have the TV. We have the TV rights. So we get a shitload of money injected to our league in general. Like fucking the bottom feeders earn like 100 million just for getting into the Premier League.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You can't blame Lyon. I get what you mean, but like you have to understand.
Yes, I can. Be better to know.
Because wait, no, because you need to understand the situation with the league in general. The league themselves, not the clubs. The league fucked the TV rights deal.
No,
twice.
I know that, but no.
That's not them completely, bro.
No. But the league didn't decide to make them fucking be in debt by 500 million. Do better with your player scouting.
What do you mean? What are you talking about, bro? Listen, the league, the main revenue of your football club, barring player sales and everything like that, the main major revenue, even for our football club, by the way, or any of the top teams, is TV revenue.
I know. Yes, I get it. Then how? No. How is Strasbourg doing? They got Barco for cheap from Brighton. They're making good signings. There's people in the French league that are still surviving.
Lyon are doing that. Lyon to an extent are also doing that too, bro. They sell their own academy players. They sold guys for good amounts of profit as well.
Excuse me. I think
you're being very unfair, CP.
No, I'm not, because you just literally got rid of Ryan Tricky for 35 million when he could have gone for more a year or two ago for 50 million plus. So you're telling me they're selling for good amounts of
50 million plus last season. He couldn't have gone for 50 million plus last season, and we both know that why. Because last season he actually did not play as good as he did this season. If we're being objective.
Yeah, okay, not even last season. 2 years. Okay, I'll give you 2 years ago. Still for 30. What, they sold him for 30 million now? That's it.
So they sold it for 40 million. No, it was 40 million euros.
No, it wasn't 40 million. They didn't sell him for 40 million pounds.
I'm fairly certain it was 40 million euros.
Ryan Tricky did not go for 40 million pounds.
40 million euros, bro. I didn't say pounds. 40 million total package. 40 million euros. That's what he does. Again, and for me, listen, these guys, whether you want to criticize them or not, have been consistent in Europa League Sometimes they get into the Champions League, depending on how things go. They sell they have a good academy, which they sell quite a few of their academy products from. We literally bought one of their academy products from them for free, if I'm not mistaken, or if not, we paid like a small fee for him in Mamadou Sarr, the guy that we actually have at our club.
Exactly.
Right? So,
and if,
the point I'm trying to make,
that talent, maybe they could have sold him for more money.
But listen, they did not listen. I think his contract was running out. He wasn't signing with them. And as such, they moved him on and we bought him. I think this idea that it's just
you can have a sell-on clause.
It's just, I think, just the idea that it's just Lyon's fault that they're in this thing. I think it's been very unfair to them, because when considering a lot of their money and their revenue, has been severely harmed as well because of the league itself.
Then how are other French leagues? Then how are other clubs?
All of these other clubs in the French league, all these. In terms of competitiveness,
Leo's not in bankrupt.
In terms of all, I'm getting there. All these other clubs, in terms of competitive level, aren't as good. Why are we trying to act like that? Barring PSG, Lille, they have a strong academy, and they and that's what's been helping them out, right? If you look at other clubs, Marseille, I'm going through them. Marseille is a loyal fan base. The owner is actually a little bit was willing to put in money into them.
No, right? No. Go back to Lille. No, what did he say about Lille? What did he say? They had a good, strong academy and learned how to sell their academy players pretty well, which Lyon should have fucking done.
No, I'm saying they rely on that. They rely on
that. If Lille can do that, why can't Lyon? If Lille can do what they do, and Lyon have a good academy,
okay, that's fair. Okay, that's fair. But the thing is, Lille has not been consistent. In that sort of thing. It's only happened in the recent times where stuff like this has, where Leo has been as consistent as this. That's the difference, CP. If that makes sense. It's only been the last few years. The problem with Lyon, is that they haven't, the signings they've made, that barring, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was either Dembele or it was the other striker that from Arsenal, It's like a big money signing.
Like that?
I think it was like 30 million. Barring that 30 to 25, they don't spend big amount of money on a lot of their players if you look at the actual transfer history. So again, I think with Lyon, I think the problem more so with them has been, I think the way that their owner has not done a good job, in my personal opinion, right, of basically when on some of the players they've brought, they've not been able to make a profit on them. Does that make sense? Like
that's what I'm saying.
And I would argue it's a lot of the older players, because they usually bring in a lot of young players.
That's what I'm criticizing them for. That's what I'm not.
But they have to bring in those guys. The problem for me, the problem is they need to bring those guys in. The older players that they need to bring in, they have to bring them in. That's the problem, because they bring in a lot far older players compared to like some of these other guys, because they have the young players already in place because of the academy. That's the difference. But so I think that's what's hurt them more than anything else. And I think also they had a season where they were out of Europe, if I'm not mistaken, which was either last year, not last year, it was the year before. It was not last year. Because last year they turned it around. It was the season where they turned it around and got Europa League at the end. I remember that one.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. But I think for me, and I say this to every French league except the PSG, we are very harsh on a lot of those guys here, because they are losing out on insane money, TV money wise. All of the other teams here in the French league are also suffering from this on various levels. That's why 90% of the league is literally up for sale. Okay, this is why whenever I talk about a lot of the French teams, I actually am very sympathetic to them, because these guys are for sale. They all are in various levels of debt, which they can afford, which they cannot afford. And their finances here are literally on a knife edge. Every single club, except for maybe Marseille, I'll probably add, right? But on Marseille, all these other clubs are literally on a knife edge. So I think for me, this is why whenever I talk about the Ligue 1 clubs, there's a lot more context that needs to be added in regards to a lot of their club situations as well.
Fair enough. I didn't think that was gonna go in that direction, but hey, I'm all for it. I got to learn a little bit more about the whole situation in Ligue 1. Good to know. This is a good point. This is what I'm saying. By the way, their TV revenue will probably be, particularly for Lyon, probably be around about 100 million euros. By the way, it'll probably be somewhere in that range. So they would probably be only 75 million euro probably of that.
So this is the point. I'm just trying to make, Marshall, right? Because the TV revenue is probably the number one in terms of revenue that any of our clubs will make.
We make over. How much you make in the freaking Premier League just for where you finish.
That's what I'm saying. So this is why, like, I think it's like with a lot of these clubs, 99% of these clubs in League One, we have to be a bit more, like, respectful to them. They lost $1 billion TV revenue deal, by the way. That was the first one. They're now getting the second deal that the league has done. That's getting vetoed, by the way. Because I don't know if you know that, Marshall. Right? So so that's even in shambles too. So they still have not got a new TV rights deal. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. That's a lot of revenue, obviously, and exposure that they're missing out on. It's gonna make the league suffer as a result. At some point, the president of Ligue 1 has to step in and or step up, I should say, and just figure out a solution and get that done, because it's not acceptable that we consider Ligue 1 one of our top 5 leagues in Europe, yet they can't even have they've won a season pretty much, right, without the TV revenue. This is the first season and the only season so far they've had no TV deal. No,
they had a TV deal, but that TV deal is getting like litigated and like in court, essentially, Marshall. Like the zone is trying to now. The zone is literally trying to reduce the money they're now giving to the clubs again. They won't even get that much money to begin with.
But Marshall, you know what? Why this is happening? Also on top of it, because BN Sports is owned by the Qataris, who own PSG, and they could easily do the TV deal and save the league. But the reason why they're also not doing it is because if more of these clubs are in debt, they'll sell their good players for cheaper to them, because they'll be so desperate for the fucking money. So why save these clubs? Why save these clubs? Why save the league if I can buy these players for great quality for cheaper, so I can do well in the Champions League?
Yeah, that's
because BN Sports used to be a major TV. No, BN Sports used to be a major sponsor for them 3 years ago.
Look how much they make, Marshall. This is actually correct, because I remember this from JB's.
Yeah, that's correct.
Do you know how much that's in pounds? That's in euros, but do you know how much that is in pounds? That's basically essentially 30 million pounds, by the way. That's how much they're making from TV rights, man.
Yeah, that's a good amount, and even then, that's not that much compared to what we get in the Prem.
No, we make 130 mil. They're making 30 million, Marshall.
That's why I said. What you think I said? I said.
Do you know how big that is?
No. That's why I said that's a good amount. But even then, yeah, I'm agreeing with you. Even then, that's not much compared to what we get in the Prem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it's crashing.
No, we make 160 mil. Like, do you know how much they make in Bayern? Do you know how much? Do you know how much like the?
No, but that's also because we finished fourth. We also finished fourth. That's also why.
Even the lowest
you go down the thing, they still make.
I think it's 125.
No, I know it's 100. I think it's 100 bare minimum. I know that. I'm just saying 125. Yeah, I'm just saying it's 160 because of where we finished. That's all.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, even if you look in the German league, the lowest teams are still making almost upper 90s or upper 80s or something around about that, because they got a good deal too. Because they make, I think both Italy and Germany have got $1 billion, well over $1 billion. I think it's like 1.1 or 1.2 billion TV rights deal. If I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I can't remember what the league, what the La Liga one is. So, like, again, obviously, for context, forgive me if I don't know about that one. But that's the point I'm just trying to make. Like, listen, these guys, these guys are making bank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the point I'm trying to make. League is these brothers are suffering, bro. They're suffering. The league, the FA is fucking them differently, bro. With all due respect. Sorry about that language.
No, it's fine, man. I mean, yeah, it's a shitty situation that I hope there's some resolution to it. Based on what CP just said, doesn't look like there will be, but who knows? Some third party or some involved party can step in. Maybe something happens. I don't know. This is just me speculating. Anyways, we continue on to the next part of the show, which, I mean, we were just talking about our sister club. Might as well talk about this as well, which could potentially be another sister club. We're buying Sporting. Well, let's get into the details. There's not much detail on it, but there's some detail about it. And to be fair, let's see where this goes. This is the first update we've had in a very long time on this situation. Chelsea's ownership group remains intent on adding Sporting Lisbon to the multi-club network. Chelsea are actively interested in Sporting and have made contact with the club's top brass. So obviously coming from CFC Chronicle, but also like not a surprise. We were interested in buying shares of Sporting. I remember we got slapped on the wrist and in trouble for, you know, doing this with one of our deals when we were in the market for Ugarte. And yeah, it definitely backfired on us. But ever since that, there's always been known that we've had an interest in buying a Portuguese team or a team from the Portuguese league. So, hey, if this does happen, I think someone had mentioned it previously when I was on my way to work that we're not going to buy it flat out. Pardon me. We're not going to buy it flat out, but what we could potentially do is purchase a majority or a minority stake in it. Can you hear me, Ahmed? Oh, there we go. I had some weird signal stuff, maybe a little laggy there. Sorry, guys. But yeah, essentially, we're probably going to buy some form of stake in Sporting at some point. And yeah, just be aware that this is a club that we're interested in, and it's going to be part of the multi-club deal. And this will also, because we're not buying the majority of it, we can finagle ownership rules and stuff like that when it comes to being in the same competition in Europe as well. But Ahmed, do you have any thoughts on this? Does this sound promising to you? Is this something that you think is a good move for Chelsea? Or Blue Car, I should say, not Chelsea.
I mean, it looks like we keep speculating that we're going to buy this club every single time. Nothing happens. Until I see something happen, there's no point in me speaking about it. Okay. I think my thing is, like, again, you can't buy a majority stake for a fundamental reason. These guys are always going to basically be in the UCL spot in the league. So you can't buy a majority stake. So it's going to be like a large minority stake that you buy in the club.
But even if you buy a majority stake in it and you
how would that work then?
You know what, you're not wrong. You know,
you can't.
You'd have to buy and sell all the time, so you'd have to buy a minority stake.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, fair enough. I mean, we'll see how it goes. In terms of, excuse me, in terms of this club, yeah, if we're gonna be doing this multi-club thing, if we're gonna be buying all these youngsters, I think we really, really do need to expand on the multi-club model. All the clubs are doing it now. Like, we're not even the only ones at this point. If anything, we were trendsetters, or not even trendsetters. Trendsetters, because you know, it was something that other clubs were doing, but when Chelsea started doing it is when all of a sudden all the other clubs were like, hey, you know what? It doesn't seem like a bad idea, actually. Maybe we should do it. But I don't know. Yeah, it needs to be done. We need to start having clubs where we can send some of these youngsters to develop properly instead of, you know, guessing where we can send them, figuring out a place we can send them. Having, you know, Andre Santos, for example, be a player that we were able to send to a controlled environment, I'll say, right? In terms of, we know who the manager is. You know, they hire the manager, they hire the sporting team or whatever, or the staff, so on and so forth. A controlled environment where, like, you'll know Andre Santos will get minutes. You'll know Andre Santos will be treated well and used properly, so on and so forth. We need another club like that for other players as well. So, yeah, I think if we get this going, if this starts actually, you know, rolling, then so be it. Good for Blueco. They definitely need to expand on that, especially considering how many talents we keep bringing in for not enough clubs to send them to. So, not if they buy a minority stake, or yeah, they're not full owners of Sporting. If they're full owners of Sporting, then that's where the problem could arise. So there is loopholes towards it. We'll see how this story develops, but it is an update that the interest is still there, and that yeah, that's the club that that Chelsea seem to have their eyes set on, or at least the league that they have their eyes set on, or not Chelsea. He's saying Chelsea. It's a Blueco. the club that Blueco or the league that Blueco have their eyes set on. Okay, the next story I wanted to touch on. Pardon the yawning, guys. A lot of caffeine, and I'm very tired. Okay, so let's go into this one right here. Vivid Seats scandal. Not much of an update on this, but I figured I'd bring it up because it's been brought up again. The latest on it is that the Premier League have entered talks with Chelsea among Todd Boehly's controversial ownership of the ticket reselling website Vivid Seats. Listen, I don't think this is going to go anywhere. I genuinely don't think so. I also don't think there's... I just don't think there's a conflict of interest when Todd Boehly's not even the majority owner of Chelsea.
I get that, but you know, you keep saying that he is still a part owner. He's also the chairman of the club. That's the only reason why this keeps on coming up. Marshall said before, he's the chairman of the club, bro. Remember, we have a 5-year period, rolling period of chairmanship, but he's the chairman, right? So listen, essentially at the end of the day, bro, I said this before. This stuff is gonna get hot eventually, and it's gotten hot now, bro. That's not me being speculating, bro. Initially, we didn't care about it. Then there was some random protest about, as you know, about the Vivid Seat stuff alongside some of the other stuff that happened at Chelsea. And now, I remember when you reported this like a few weeks ago.
He was chairman. He had a chair in the Vivid Seats board prior to buying Chelsea, and we were thoroughly inspected. And you know,
I think at the time, Vivid Seats probably were not selling our tickets. I think that's probably the reason why.
I don't know about that one.
Because I've not had a Vivid Seats until recently. I'll be honest with you.
Vivid Seats has been around for a while. There's just
no.
UK master company.
But remember, this is UK. I'm talking about specifically. I'm not talking about obviously US. Obviously, they may have existed in the UK previously, but I don't think they've had them in regards to being spoken about Chelsea related wise up until recently, Marshall. That's why.
I don't think that's true.
No, I'm being serious. Because
are you saying? Let me say this to you. Obviously, there's an official reselling website for Chelsea tickets, right? For season owners that they can resell their website, they can resell their tickets through the Chelsea website, right?
That's the Chelsea website.
Yes. However, that is not the only way it can be done.
Oh no, I agree with you. I understand that. I'm talking about Vivid Seats specifically being had in the zeitgeist. That's what I'm talking about, Marshall.
But
I've only heard about it this season.
What I'm saying is that Vivid Seats has existed. Actually, let's see how Vivid Seats existed, because it's essentially another StubHub, StubHub. If
no, what you're saying is correct. I'm not actually disagreeing with you, Marshall, on that. I know they've existed for a while. I'm saying maybe they've only entered the market in terms of like doing football-related stuff. Maybe it was either this season or the season before. Because I've not heard about Vivid Seats selling like football tickets up until recently, Marshall. That's the point I'm trying to make. So unless obviously
you need to stop. You're gonna kill people.
Oh, good. Hold that. Oh, no, but that's the point I'm trying to make, Marshall. Like obviously, at the point I'm trying to make is that I haven't heard about Vivid Seats until the last year or two. That's the point I'm like in terms of like selling Chelsea tickets. Selling Chelsea tickets. That's the keyword I'm using. Selling Chelsea. I've heard about Vivid Seats previously, but as of right now, selling Chelsea tickets, it's only happened as of recently. I would probably assume, right? Because I would have heard about it for
Here's my theory. It's been happening this whole time. No one gave a shit, or no one was as loud or gave this much of a shit until the American owners.
The problem is, if that was the case, then I think people would have been complaining about StubHub then quite a lot sooner than if that was the case. Because remember, StubHub still sells can possibly resell tickets too.
StubHub does the same thing Vivid Seats does. But
that's what I'm saying.
Involved, people are.
The problem is though, like that's the thing though. You can't be in the problem with the Vivid Seats thing, Marshall, is that I don't know. It's said to you before. In football, you can only sell your tickets at face value. I've said this to you before, right?
Well, based on the law that is,
you got a law in there. You can only sell them for the value that you bought it for. You can't make a profit on it, essentially. So, I think what's been the issue of Vivid Seats, at least from what I'm understanding, is they're selling it at exorbitant prices, bro. That's the problem right now. You know what I mean? They're selling it for profit, which is illegal. That's the whole point. It's not about whether or not it's not. I don't even think it's about I don't think. I think if obviously you own Vivid seats, but under reselling tickets at face value, I generally don't think it would be an issue at all. My personal opinion.
But part of the issue is that we have a small stadium. Seats are at a very, I don't know.
The club's not making money on them. That's the problem. The club's not making money on the.
Hear me out.
Oh,
the reason why websites like Vivid Seats and StubHub exist, or its original reason for existing, was to buy tickets that someone else was selling. Why? Because the original vendor didn't have tickets. Now, when you have a 42,000 seater stadium, obviously, and you're as big as Chelsea, obviously, every game is going to be a sold out game. That means, and considering you have to be in the UK to be a season ticket holder, it makes it a lot harder for the international fan, including myself, to even get tickets. So I know that when I go to the UK, very likely I have to hit up you, Fatur, or someone who is a season ticket holder and say, hey, can I buy a ticket? Do you know anyone that I can buy a ticket off of? Because, and this is how the scamming thing happens, right? Where you get the fake tickets and stuff. Now that's not going to exist anymore because of our partnership with Ticketmaster. However, there's pros and cons to it. Ticketmaster is now going to hike up prices because of fees, and people aren't going to be happy with that. That's another thing, right? But that's besides the point. The point that I'm saying is that as a result of having a small stadium, as a result of having very limited seats, and those seats being limited to UK residents, people who want to actually go to the game, not that the Chelsea fans that are going don't want to, but what I mean, any other fans that want to go to the game, they're forced to have to buy a ticket that has already been purchased.
Marshall, that's incorrect. All that you've said is incorrect. I'm speaking from when I've joined the Vancouver Chelsea supporters group and now the Toronto one. There's certain membership rankings with regards to these supporter groups, and if you're a gold or platinum tier, so for example, Vancouver and Toronto platinum tier. So we actually just need to hit up the head of the supporters group at least 2 to 3 weeks before the game that we want to go to, and we actually almost get priority seating before even the season ticket holders. And that is verbatim what he said to me 3 weeks ago when I was watching the Nottingham Forest game, and he was giving us the breakdown on, hey, if you link your main Chelsea account to our supporters group, once it's linked, like, just let me know because we get priority seating choices. But if you're joining a supporters group, which is also $20 a year. No, that's $20 a year. I'm sorry. If you can afford to go to fucking London, you can join a supporters group for $20 fucking Canadian. You could pay that much money for 1 year and almost get priority seating when you go to London to watch a Chelsea game. So it's not a specialized thing. And most major cities in America, aka New York or Philadelphia, wherever you may be, have a supporters group. Every time I've traveled to America and there's been a Chelsea game, I've gone to the supporters group in San Francisco, Boston, New York, and Miami during my time in the past 10 years. So you can't tell me all these major cities have these, and most of them from New York, and I know San Francisco, Vancouver, and Toronto are all platinum tier. So they will get priority seating if you let them know at least 3 weeks in advance. And unless you're doing a spontaneous getaway to London 2 weeks prior, most of you people are handling your flights a month or 3 weeks in advance anyways. So you saying the international fans don't have the opportunities to get tickets, if you can join your local sports supporters group, which is only $20 a year, you can get priority seating.
But that's not normal here in the US. You understand that though, right? Like, that's not like if you wanted to go see the Lakers, you don't have
but we're pertaining this to specifically Chelsea, and you're saying how
I'm trying to tell you how it's different. You're kind of showing my point.
So what you said is that doesn't make sense for the stuff. It lacks the point of
what you're saying
about
CP. But CP, essentially what you're saying is what I kind of said, right? Someone in the UK buys a bunch of tickets.
No one buys a bunch of tickets for the supporters clubs.
Let me finish my point. Someone in the UK who works with the supporter clubs across different nations or different countries. Let's say one is dedicated for the US supporters group. they are the ones that are in charge of buying tickets for those supporters groups, right? So then in the US, they have the connection to be like, okay, cool. Now, if you're part of the supporter group in the US, you can buy tickets through us. However, if you're just a normie, right, for lack of a term, if you're just a general casual fan, big up Casually FC, casual fan who, okay, I know I'm going to London in a few weeks. I want to buy a ticket. It's not as easily accessible as going on StubHub and just buying, as going on the website and just buying a ticket there. Right. You have to go through hoops and hurdles. That's a rare case. But StubHub is essentially a platform made. I'm sorry. It's become different now, but StubHub is essentially a platform.
No, but you would have needed to have some footballing knowledge to be like, I want to see a Chelsea game instead of an Arsenal game or a Spurs game, for example. So you would have needed to first have football knowledge about what this club is. You first would have need to know, okay, I want to go to this specific game. So you can't sit. They can't be that casual. Most of these people are still, they could be casual fans of Chelsea, but they'll still know about Chelsea. Most of them can easily, if you can Google the Chelsea website or StubHub, you can easily Google a supporters group. And I'm just basing it off my thing of major cities. I think there's about 10,
at the same time,
1,500 supporters groups. There's 1,500 supporter groups around the world, so there could be supporter groups in these smaller towns too. So other people saying that not everyone lives in a major city, fair enough. But I'm basing it off my experience of the supporter groups I've gone to and what they've told me.
You know what I think the issue is, regardless of everything, the problem is I don't think these websites, whether it be a StubHub, Vivid Seat, whoever it may be, even the UK ones can be included in this. Yeah, they're not essentially when people are selling any football ticket of any kind, whether it be a Chelsea thing, whether it be anything thing, it should be also down to the websites when they know what type of ticket is being sold to make sure they implement the law, right? Because they should be saying face value only. That's the problem that you've got, Marshall, right? It's also down to the websites to also make sure that these guys cannot be selling these prices at the ticket.
Well, the thing is, this is where the line is grayed because that law pertains to your country, not ours.
No, it will also count to yours. It's any football ticket, bro. Because
people in the US are allowed to make money.
Because the thing is, Marshall. The thing is, Marshall. Those tickets are being sold in the UK too. That's why they complain about Vivid Seats, bro. The Vivid Seat issue is not just because it's just happening in the US. It's also happening in the UK. They're selling them at exorbitant prices, and they're not implementing the law.
Marshall, I'm saying because of venues in the UK, it's even if you sell the ticket to an American, it's still by UK law should be face value because it's a UK venue, a UK.
It's a UK ticket. Yes, it's not US.
Setup, yeah.
Yes, that's the whole
point.
In
an ideal world, but that was my original point, right? That part of the reason websites like StubHub and Vivid Seats exist is to give people a chance to buy tickets to a sold out event where people that got those tickets, for example, can't get a babysitter, can't take off of work, weather is an issue, so they're able to resell their ticket so that someone else could go, right? And my point in saying all this, CP, I don't know if you were here and hearing this part, but like, because Stamford Bridge is such a low capacity stadium, because priority in those tickets are given to UK fans and not fans abroad, those fans will probably sell out or buy all those tickets before international fans are able to. And because it's a small stadium, it sells out almost every time. If it was a big stadium, sure, you'll probably have some straggler seats there. Like, oh, we could probably, get a seat in the upper I tier. Like, for example, you look at Club World Cup right now. Like, we've had some games where it's 40,000 capacity, 50,000 capacity. You can still get tickets because we have 80,000 capacity. So there'd be some tickets you can buy from the direct website rather than buying from.
Can you repeat that last part about international? Sorry, can you repeat that part again? You were saying international fans or something, or something.
International fans essentially have last dibs on Stamford Bridge.
No, they don't. No, they don't. If you're part of a supporters group, they have it.
But okay, again, you keep bringing up the supporters group, but that's not a normal thing. Like, if I'm a fan, hold on,
WLTOV said, they're fucking everywhere. You can Google. Whenever I go to a city, I don't know the supporters group of every city I go to when I'm in the United States. I literally Google. I mean, not even Google. Facebook. I go to Facebook. I type support Chelsea, Boston. There's usually a supporters club and the bar that they reside in usually or whatever. I go there during the game. Or you can leave. Most of them have websites. I know the Vancouver one has a website. You can just literally pay the $20 on their website to join to join that specific one branch.
Okay,
And they
hold
have
on.
platinum seating,
There's
so
two
they get
different things
priority.
being discussed right now. Like not UCP, but in chat. I'm not making a discussion or a debate about ticket prices. I am telling you the purpose of the website. That's what I'm discussing right now. I'll come back to the ticket price thing in a minute, right? But the purpose of the website. Now, I understand what you're saying, CP. And yes, that's a great way to get tickets if you know that's the way to get tickets. If you're not on the internet, if you're not actively in Chelsea communities and stuff, I don't think it's as simple as a Google, because if you Google Chelsea tickets, what'll probably pop up? Vivid Seats, StubHub, the Chelsea website, not the Reddit forums that tell you how to find your supporter group, not the supporter groups that you're looking for that you can get tickets for in a ethical way, if you want to call it that. They don't pop up immediately. You have to do thorough research, which most people, unfortunately, don't do. So that's why websites like Vivid Seats, StubHub exist, to make tickets easier to access.
I know you're talking. That is not necessarily actually true, by the way. The reason why that's not necessarily true is because because like of the type of club that we are. Like, let's say if you're a Chelsea, an Arsenal, or like a Tottenham, and particularly in the region that we're in London, right?
London, yeah.
Those tickets will always be marked up by guys that's reselling it. That's the problem that you have with the 7-1 and X5, bro. So for me, again, this is where it comes back to. These websites need to realize they need to implement the law. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's on them. It's not on you, Marshall. It's not you. It's not. That's my fault. My problem is not with the people that are doing the reselling, because if the websites allow them to do it, at the end of the day, they can do that. But the problem is the website knows they're breaking the law and is not stepping it and saying and you can't do that.
And that's the issue, right? Like,
yes.
And this is where I come on to what the chat's talking about.
Yes.
Now, the original purpose of those websites is long gone, because now it's become, for a lot of people, and I know people that have done this and do this for like a side hustle, is they go, let's say Beyonce is playing at a concert, right? These guys know that Beyonce tickets are going to sell out. Taylor Swift, you name the artist, big artists. They literally sit in a queue for hours. They get the tickets at face value, and a bunch of those tickets, and then they go on websites like StubHub, they go on websites like Vivid Seats, and they sell it for profit. So they flip it. They sometimes double the price of tickets, knowing that people missed out on the tickets. It's a sold out show, and they exploit those people and pay them those prices. The other those prices where they make a profit, and that is an issue, and it shouldn't be that way, because that's not the original purpose of those websites. The other part of it too is Ticketmaster is another platform that understands their platform is unique. That's why they bought the likes of Live Nation. I think they even have they bought some rights of Vivid Seats as well. They've pretty much monopolized the online ticketing market, so they know that you're not going to get your ticket anywhere else. They've limited the amount of tickets you can get in person at box office, because the tickets sell out online before you can even get to the box office to buy physical tickets, and so they charge you an arm and a leg in fees. And they know that you're not going to do shit about it, because this is the only place you can get tickets. These tickets will all sell out before you can actually get to the box office. So unless you're at the box, which nowadays, listen, we're all doing shit. We're all busy, right? None of us have fucking time to sit at a box office for 2 hours out of our day in the middle of a work day.
That can do it. AI bots that can do it for us, though.
But no, I mean like actually going to the box office.
I'm
not talking about Amazon drones that you program to AI to sit for a fucking ticket for you, bro. I'm just talking actually going to Stamford Bridge to get a physical ticket. Yeah. Like no one has time to do that.
But no, Marshall, the point you're making, everything is all fair enough. I just think it just comes down to, again, the website implementing the necessary law. That's what it comes down to me. I think, and I think that's the issue maybe Vivid is having right now, and why the Premier League is like speaking of them, because they're not implementing that. Listen, at the end of the day, people are greedy people. You know what I mean? We all have greediness. If you can sell it, if you can sell like a ticket that you get for £60 or £65, like in the Matthew Harden, what's it called? Matthew Harden, and then we can sell it for 120, 150, 160, 180, 200 to like someone else. We're gonna do that, bro. I'll be honest. You know what I mean? We're gonna do that. But obviously, we know that we can't do that because it's illegal, right? So then it comes down to the website for being able to like Don't do that because then they're breaking the law on the website, bro. You know that, right? And then that causes you problems, causes you penalties that you have to pay as well, which is something that I'm surprised that a lot of these websites are not actually looking at, in my personal opinion, because it's causing you problems too.
But the thing is, and this is the part that bothers me, right?
Adrian is trying to troll. Adrian's trolling.
Adrian's trying to troll, but he's also not. But yes. The thing is, if this was such an issue to the Premier League, and this is why I don't think it's going anywhere, because I also think there is a level of corruption involved, right? I don't think nothing is going to happen with this because the Premier League, UK, all these parties had to screen whoever was going to purchase Chelsea Football Club. So unless I'm mistaken, I believe Todd Bowley had joined as a chairman of Vivid Seats a year or half a year prior to the takeover of Chelsea Football Club. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes,
but that should have came up, and they let it go.
I think the issue was, and I said this to you before, when did Vivid Seats start getting into the business? Of selling.
I think they've always been involved, Ahmed, but no one's paying attention.
No. But you're talking about it maybe from an American perspective, like in America and doing stuff like that. I'm talking about it from a UK perspective too, because this is apparently affecting not just the US fans, it's also affecting the UK fans, Marshall, right? That's what I'm saying. When did it also start coming into our market where they start selling sports tickets too? That's what you need to find out, because once you know the timeline somewhat sort of, I think that actually like addresses a lot of our issues. I'll be honest with you. Right, because then it solves a lot of problems. Because that's what I'm saying to you. Because I know Vivid Seats existed for a while. Because I've bought tickets for myself whenever I wanted to go to some concerts myself. So that's not a problem to you. I just don't know when they start getting into sports. If that makes sense.
CP, do you know if StubHub or Vivid Seats has been involved in like reselling Chelsea tickets since before Bowley?
No, because the few times I've literally gone to the thing you were just trolling about, which is going to the box office at Chelsea Stadium and buying the ticket. I'm not even fucking joking. I literally
you're being serious?
No, because literally the day I flew into London was the Chelsea game, so I told the driver to take me to Stamford Bridge so I could drop my bags off and just go straight there to buy the tickets there.
Can I just say two? Can I ask two comments?
Sorry,
yeah. Can you go to Rico? Can I go to Rico comments fast? Can you go to Rico's comment? The UK. Listen, I'm sorry, Rico, that you have to pay exorbitant amount of fees to watch Chelsea, and that in the UK we have some level of like financial understanding that this is a working class sport. Hold that, Rico. And can I just get Carl's comment about a Taylor Swift concert? I've actually never been to Taylor Swift concert before, and I don't think I don't think I am the target market for a Taylor Swift concert. Last time I checked, so but big up to Taylor Swift, innit?
Why are you lying for the camera, bro? Don't let me get on the camera and tell me.
He's more of an Ariana Grande kind of guy. He's more of an Ariana Grande kind of guy. So not Taylor. He's not a T-Swift. He's not a Swiftie, but.
Wow.
There's a certain section of the chat that might now commence a war with Ahmed for that comment you just said, CP.
What did I just say?
Swiftie?
I'm not a Swiftie. I'm not
Swiftie. He's an Ariana Grande fan. I'm bad.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not Ariana Grande fan.
Watch out for your demon.
Shout out to Victorious, man. That was a great TV show when I was a kid. What do you mean? Yeah, see, Marshall showing his age.
I see.
Marshall showing his age then. Marshall just showed his age then, like crazy.
Yeah,
I'm aware of the show. I just grew up after.
That was what Ariana Grande was in. You know that, right? No?
I am showing my age, actually. Technically, yeah, I did grow up after that.
Yeah. So listen.
Yeah.
There we go. Big up to Granddad, man. But like on a serious, obviously,
big up my niece and nephews.
You know what I mean? But like as I said before, again, Marshall, I don't know what's gonna happen. It's probably gonna be a bit more. What's probably gonna happen is that it's gonna be like, oh, Vivid Seats is probably gonna, implement, make
sure. OGs, if you know, you know.
Like, the Vivid Seats is gonna probably implement what's it called, the thing where they're gonna make sure tickets are sold at the right price. That's what's probably gonna happen, Marshall. So it's not that much to really hear about.
Yeah, I think that was an interesting conversation. Gives us a lot of insight on on the whole topic. So I didn't expect that. So that being
I
said,
didn't think it was interesting at all personally, but you know, it is what it is. Wink, wink.
I'm gonna give you a yellow for that because that was
So that's my ticking in or not? That's a red. That's a red now.
That was foul, bro. That was foul. It's not a red.
Man getting away with these cards like Casemiro back in his prime.
Casemiro.
Man, if you know
the next topic I was gonna bring up was actually I gotta you know what? No, let's bring this one up. Tariq George on loan. Let's see. I have found out about this today. So let's see. So Tariq George on if he'll be staying next season or better to leave on loan for game time, and Chelsea trying to sign another left winger. Not really too sure. There's always going to be competition whether they sign one or not. I'm always ready to learn. CP, I mean, since you're here, Ahmed went to go eat. What do we think about Tariq George in this situation? Do we send him out on loan or do we keep him?
You keep him if we don't get Kudus and a left winger, so Gittens or Rogers. Because if we just get Gittens, then what is it? Gittens and Neto, and then what do you call
Noni.
Esteval and Noni? Like, I don't
Which
think
we could
that's
get
enough.
by in the season. You don't think that's enough?
No. Not with the amount of competition.
Wing, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, not with the amount of competitions. Not with regards to the amount of competitions we're in.
Yeah.
And if you're telling me Gittens scored like what 7 or 10 goals in Bundesliga,
7 goals, I think,
and started a decent amount of games, I think Tariq could have got the similar amount of numbers in that same league if he had the same amount of game time. So it's like that's what I think of Gittens. Is like we have a version of it here. I'm not saying like Gittens could be slightly better, but because he's just had more playing experience. But that's why it depends on who we get. If we get a Kudus and a Gittens, fuck yeah, go ahead. I trust that.
Kudus and Gittens, you said?
Yeah, if we get Kudus and Gittens, yeah, Tariq George, get some game time, brother. Go ahead. It's just who we bring in, like the quality of who we bring in. That's my thing.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I mean, I do. You're not gonna like this. I do rate the scouting ability of the directors. It's just a matter of can they get the players across the line? Because if they bring me a player that I've not heard of, but they actually bring me the player and he's ready to start, like for example, Isugo, like, you know, it's early days, but so far I've been pretty content with what I've seen from Isugo. I've never heard of Isugo prior to us signing him. Never heard of him. But I trust their talent ID. They brought the player in. Yeah. It was quick. And so far, I'm pretty happy with what I've seen. You can make the same argument for Santos and Paez. I mean, all these players, time would tell. Esteval is another one too. Like, you can make that argument, right? But I think in terms of players we've seen in the first team, Isugo right now Isugo and Santos are the ones that we're seeing like that thought experiment of like, you know, what happens when you actually bring the players that you scout versus just scout and talk about them all the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I don't mind. I just want them to bring targets. That's kind of where I'm getting at. I'm sure there's a lot of people in chat that never heard of Malik Fofana, you know, and I happen to know about him. One of the few players that I've heard of that aren't superly big superstars. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Just bring him. Don't talk to me about him. So I don't even care so much of like getting the right profiles in those positions. Just give me not the right profiles, but you know what I'm saying? Not the big names. Like, just bring me players.
Yeah, like I remember I was talking to, I think it was last stream, like off stream, like before the stream started, about like what is that Walterberg, that German striker that we were linked with? Like honestly, I'm not saying I wanted him to join Chelsea, but the games I was seeing since we got linked, I was like, oh, he's looks pretty good. Not saying that I want him to join the club, but like I could be like, okay, I see what he can do or where he can grow to a better level than he is right now. So I get your thing to a point, but the thing he doesn't what they don't do is fucking sign them.
Yeah, and this is the annoying part, right? Because, like, you know, okay, let me read the tweets and then I'll put my 2 cents in here. So exclusive on Baltimade. So he's essentially agreed to deal with Bayern. So Bayern and Baltimade have reached full verbal agreement on a summer transfer. Bayern have reached an agreement in principle with talented German striker Nick Baltimade. Personal terms in place until June 2030, so a 5-year-long contract. After a new meeting with his agent this week, Bayern wanted to anticipate European top clubs. Deal now depends on talks with Stuttgart, as Plettigo reports. So I guess what they meant to say is that Bayern anticipated clubs were going to come in for him, so they pulled the trigger. And that's something that our directors don't do. They don't pull the trigger. We're stuck here diddling our thumbs and, oh, look at this talent, look at that, and it's like, I don't know who this player is, but if Bayern are getting him, he's probably going to be a decent player. Why don't we just go for him? Like, I don't care for the name so much as, like, is he a good player? Did you scout him? All right, cool. Then just bring him in and let's see what he does. It's not like we haven't done it already. Like, it's just add another one, another Dijon Whispers to the pile, another, I don't know, Kellyman to the pile. Like, let's see what happens with these guys. If they make it, they make it. If not, then I don't think in the long run we really fucking care. They get sent off, as shitty as that sounds, to be honest. But it's kind of where I'm at with it. It's kind of a nihilistic point of view of it. With it, I'm also tired of getting pissed off with these owners for not bringing me like proven players. Like, at the end of the day, we have some decent players that weren't like ready-made and top tier proven, and you could see the potential. You could see how there's good ID there in Esteval and so on and so forth. And all right, let's see, let's see. I mean, we made top 4 with this team, and it's not jam-packed with proven top tier players either. So I know there's context to it, but regardless, the result is there. Welcome back, Scott.
Hello.
Yeah. What do you think about this deal? Or, I mean, we were talking about Tariq George going on loan prior to this as well. So, I mean, if you
it's probably wise for him to get minutes. It's just like he's probably going to end up being sold anyway, so kind of doesn't matter. Yeah, like, I'm not surprised that Bayern have gone in for Voltemade. But they're trying to create a contingency plan for when Kane leaves, and he's the best young German striker in that league currently. Like, it just kind of makes sense with everything else they've got. So yeah, like, I'm not surprised.
Not a bad idea, to be honest.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, who knows how many more years Kane has in him.
He probably has a few, but it's a good contingency plan to have in the meantime.
Yeah, have this player learn under like a decent striker. No, that's just decent is so disrespectful for Kane. Have this player learn under a good striker in Kane. Train together and all that stuff. So pick up some good habits. But yeah, I mean, it looks like we're gonna miss out on the player. I'm not devastated, but at the same time, it's one of those like, cool, another one we speculated, another one that we're gonna look at, be like, look, they scouted him, and it's like, all right, cool. That's great that they scouted him, Duran, Samu, and all these other players, but we never pulled the trigger on them, so who gives a fuck? So
yeah, that's the thing. That's why I'll never give them credit for like these players that they scout and don't get, because that means nothing, bro. Like, that's what Arsenal used to do. That's what they used to do for years. Like, them nearly getting Suarez, them nearly getting Lewandowski, them nearly getting Benzema, them nearly getting who else? Messi. Them nearly getting about 1 million players, but they never did, so it never mattered. It's the same thing. Like, I'm not going to give them credit for players that they scouted and didn't sign.
Yeah. No, I get it. So I'm in the same boat. Like I said in many previous streams, I'm at that point with with the directors where it's just like, okay, well, this is the 3rd season. Let's see how you move now. You saw what this team was able to do. Let's see now what they can do when you actually back the coach. And let's see how you built this project. It's been 3 years in the making with the likes of Santos and his development path. Now we're seeing similar type of development path being given or being made for Kendry Paez. So let's see if this is actually the project that was pitched to us. Speaking of a project being pitched to, one of our players has left for a project that they think is going to be more successful. Can you guess who I'm going to talk about?
No, Scooby. Oh.
Kepa, here we go. All right, it's finally done, ladies and gents. Kepa is officially been announced as, or not announced, officially been here we go'd, right? So good riddance, adios. All that money and the wages he was on, it's done. It's behind us. Kepa Arrizabalaga is expected at London Colony this week to complete his £5 million move to Arsenal from Chelsea. And here it is, ladies and gents. Kepa to Arsenal. Here we go. Deal done for the Spanish goalkeeper to join AFC as new backup for David Raya. Arsenal activate a £5 million clause from Chelsea, and all documents are now sealed. One more addition for Arteta after Martin Zubimendi. There you go. My owners, my American owners. Are you jumping for joy, Curry Pirate?
Whatever. He's gone. Cool. Off the wage bill. Wish him nothing but the worst. Because if he does well, Arsenal might do well. So fuck that. Yeah.
No, he's a backup, anyways. You see how the Arsenal fans are like, really like, oh, such a great deal.
Just name names. Let's not beat around the bush.
Yeah, name names, bro. That's like one.
Robbie.
No, I'll just name it.
I wasn't even being Robbie, but yeah, bro, I'll be real. It's the same dudes. Like they'll gas these signings up, and then when they do fuck all, they'll shit on them.
Igal like, too, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, no, Igal.
Did you not see today's stream with troops? Today that was fucking insane.
No, I didn't even
What did he say?
I didn't even see the stream, but don't look at his tweets. Like his tweets about Norgard, like his tweets about Norgard. Bro, it's just
Igal's,
glazing. Like
I love Igal.
Yeah, dude, man's glazing up Norgard as Thomas Partey leaves. Oh, he's like, oh, we got our 3 signings that are gonna strengthen our squad, and then we're gonna get our 2 key signings. And he's like, you know, probably like a Gyökeres or a Rodrigo. I'm like, my fucking lord, we are.
There was one here.
I don't know when this brother left Canada, but I hope it's after all this hopium he started spouting, because
God damn.
I don't know.
he's an idiot, bro.
Toronto would take away his happiness, but fucking.
Despite his extracurricular activities off the pitch, on the pitch, he was the best he was Arsenal's best midfielder last season.
Exactly.
It's idiot, bro. It's just glazing, and then he'll be the first one to crash out or to like say he's shit if he doesn't perform.
Yeah. Well, you know, they got Zubimendi, man. Don't worry. They got Zuba. They got Zuba. You know what he said? He said City aren't gonna be above Arsenal next season. While they bought Reinders, Turkey, and fucking Ait Nouri.
There's one here that got me. I think it was this one. Yeah. Zubimendi, Kepa, Norgard all done before July. Now Christian Mosquera is close. Next, the left wing is
they're hyping a Mosquera. Bro, you know what
Rodrigo
man said?
And Gyökeres. We're cooking.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. You know the funny thing was, he was hyping up on that stream with like, it was the lead, dude, it was the A team of Arsenal fans. It's beautiful. It's like Lee, it's like Lee.
The A team.
Yeah, Lee. Yeah, it was beautiful. But man was hyping up Mosquera, being like, yo, we got this great center back. I'm like, do you know how many center backs you people have? You guys buy 2 center backs each fucking year. Like, it's, my God.
Yeah. And they have an obsession with buying left backs, bro.
Dude, they're like, oh, he's like, oh, it's a good backup for Saliba. I'm like, brother, Timber can also play center back.
So can Ben White. Ben White was the back last season.
Yeah, Ben White can play center back. Calafiori can play left center back. Kivior can play left. They have whatever. Anyways, that's Arsenal.
If they sign Hato as well, they're about to have like 7 centre backs.
CP, or actually both of you.
And Rice, and don't forget Rice to play center back.
How much did they pay for Calafiori?
That's a great question.
Wasn't it like 50 million? Like 40, 50
Maybe.
million? Yeah, because I
Jack,
remember
do you guys
Ahmed
remember?
crashing out. Let's do this. Cali.
It was definitely not 30 million. It was definitely not 30 million.
It was not 30. It was not.
Listen, bro, I'd rather have an abundance of midfielders and an abundance of left backs.
So he went for 45 million euros, so 40 million pounds basically.
So they spent
Arsenal.
40 million pounds on a backup
Calafiori.
left back in
They're about to
California.
spend 30 million.
Because
they're about to
Miles
spend
Lewis
30
Skelly
million
starts
on
over
another
him.
left back.
Yeah.
Miles Lewis Skelly
Yeah.
starts over him. He doesn't start over Saliba or Gabriel.
Yep. And Kivior. Don't forget he doesn't start over Kivior on the left side either.
Well, the left side is MLS, right? Does
No,
he
I
not
know, but
start
I'm
over
saying he did-
Kivior? You don't think he's better than Kivior?
No, I'm saying he doesn't. I'm not saying he's not better. I'm saying the manager doesn't choose him
Oh, I see.
over
what you're saying, I see.
Kivior.
They paid 40 million for Aura,
No, they paid 40 million for a guy who looks good in a kit.
just for men.
Like, yeah, straight up like a model. They just paid money for a model. Like, if you're paying 40 million, why don't you just have Gigi Hadid as your fucking model for Arsenal for the next 10 years, brother? Why don't you just do that, bro?
Wait, what was that name you said?
Gigi Hadid, she's a model, bro. She's lit. Or like Kendall Jenner or some shit. I don't know. Fucking the fucking Victoria's Secret girls. Choose one. Choose one. Pay 40 million. She'll be at your club for 10. Like,
Sydney
she'll
Sweeney,
model
man. Sydney Sweeney.
your clothes for the next 10 years, bro.
That's so funny, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, it's listen, that's Arsenal transfers. They're happy about getting Kepa as a backup. They think it's a good deal. Sure.
Actually, it is
whatever.
a better deal. You know why it's a better deal? Because the
They
previous
had a
backup they had.
already.
No. Yes, they had a backup, but those fuckers bought him when he was cup tied. So technically, Kepa is an upgrade because he's not cup tied.
Okay. Good for them. Good for them. I'm happy for them. And I'm happy that Kepa's finally gone. So, big up Kepa. You will not be missed.
See, pay Anne Hathaway to model your. She's fucking London forever, all that bullshit. Just pay her 40 million for the next 10 years, bro.
Oh, man. Hey, guys. Smash up the like buttons if you think Blue Coast should pay for a model. All right? Let's go on to the next topic, which is still in the goalkeeper department. Scott probably won't like this one, but we have a Petrovic update. So let's go ahead and pull it up. Strasbourg want to sign Georgi Petrovic permanently, but the Serbian international is exploring all options. Chelsea and Petrovic have an agreement that he can leave for 30 million euro, as previously reported. Petrovic has an issue that needs resolving with his image rights. Unclear at this stage if this will delay an exit, according to Ben Jacobs. The Athletic reported that there is a gentleman's agreement between Chelsea and Georgi Petrovic that he can leave if someone bids 25 million pounds. Petrovic has been given a green light to find himself a club over the next month that will be prepared to pay that. Turkish journalist, I'm not going to even try to pronounce that, on Galatasaray Target, which is Petrovic. Petrovic told Chelsea, if you guarantee me the #1 goalkeeper position, I will go to the Club World Cup and remain in the team. Head coach Enzo Maresca rejected this request. Thereafter, Petrovic was excluded from the squad and put at the top of the transfer list, according to Yago Sobonkoglu. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry if I butchered it. And then lastly here, from the Athletic, Petrovic will be sold if the club agrees to pay 25 million pounds for the goalkeeper as per the gentleman's agreement for the 25-year-old Serbian international. So pretty much reading the same thing. Yeah, so now there's a Turkish journalist coming out and saying that he wanted to be first team keeper, which there's two ways I look at this. There's 2 points of view I have on this, and then obviously panel, you're more than welcome to chip in on what you think on this. But I think two things can be true. I think Petrovic did request to be first team or starting goalkeeper, and that I'm all for the manager not being pushed around by players, but at the same time, Maresca, surely you must understand that even though Petrovic needs to earn his place in the spot, surely you must know that he's better than Sanchez, and that's not. I feel like that's a stupid thing to. Wow, what are the chances? Big up and
What?
big up and Gal. Thank you so much for the raid. That's so funny. We were just talking about you, Gal. Hey, Gal, you're deluded, but we love you. Big up, Gal. Big up. Thank you so much, everyone who tuned in through Gal's stream. Smash up the like. Don't rewind. Smash up the like. We didn't say anything horrible, but we just think you're very optimistic of your club. Good for you, bro. Whatever makes you happy. Big up everyone from Gal's stream. Smash up the like if you haven't done so already. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new here and if you like banter and all that fun stuff. But yeah, in terms of the Petrovic thing, I think two things can be true. It's that he probably wanted to be the first, the first pick, first team player for Chelsea. He wanted to be the starting goalkeeper, and Maresca wasn't having it. You have to earn your spot, but at the same time, I'm critical. If that is true, I'm also critical of Maresca because, bro, surely you must know he's a better goalkeeper than Sanchez. You can make the exception, and it won't the players won't see you any differently. I think most players would be like, oh hey, yeah, Petrovic is clearly better. Like he can start. Like he doesn't need to prove himself. I don't think players are being stupid. No one in that locker room other than Sanchez is gonna be like, but he hasn't played. Oh, he needs to earn his spot. Like, why does he just get to walk into the? Because he's better than Sanchez, bro. That's why. It's. I think it's silly that this is happening, and I'm sure Scott and CP agree.
Yep, absolutely deserves to start. I don't believe the whole he asked to or demanded to be number one. Even if he did, why shouldn't he? He's levels clear of Sanchez. He had an incredible season last season where you could argue he was the best goalkeeper in that league. Yeah, he's clearly improved as well. Especially he's always been good in terms of shot stopping. He's been great wherever he's been in terms of shot stopping. The passing was always the issue, and he improved that leaps and bounds last year, playing in a similar system to ours. At least that's what we're meant to believe. If we believe apparently that the reason they got rid of Vieira and signed Rafinha, is because they wanted Strasbourg to play a similar system to wanted to play a similar system to Maresca at Chelsea. So yeah, he played in a system that was similar, apparently, was very good, improved, and still wasn't given a chance. So yeah, he's going to go to Galatasaray, he's going to go somewhere else, he's going to smash it. I know that for a fact because he's a very good goalkeeper. And we're going to be stuck with Sanchez, and cool. That's where we're at as a football club. We've got Sanchez in goal for us now, and I hope you man are happy.
Well,
and Sanchez makes more errors.
Go ahead. I'm sure you have something.
Don't bitch. Don't complain.
No, it's just even okay. Let's say we want to sell them, which we do. Why is the price?
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. Thank you for asking.
25 million?
That's ridiculous, bro. I think that's ridiculous
on a guy
to sell him.
Who, when Scott says he was the best goalkeeper, he was literally part of team of the season. So he was technically the best goalkeeper.
Still, it's a really low release clause.
No. Marshall. That's a release clause that was decided when he took the loan. So these fucking clowns. It wasn't a release clause that was done when he initially signed for us. This was a release clause that they did before he went to Strasbourg.
Well, no, I know that's what I'm saying, but
that's why I'm blaming these idiots. Why when they're fine with paying 55 for games, they couldn't, and they were asking to demand for fucking Carney for 40 million. Carney Chukwuemeka, who has done less than this guy, for 40 million, but then you couldn't make his release clause at least 40 million.
But this is where I agree with Rico.
The ineptitude is fucking.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I agree. In hindsight, I agree. But if I'm in that position back in the summer, I didn't expect, and I think even Scott can admit this. I don't think any of us in this panel really expected Petrovic to improve this much.
No, Marshall, that's fine. That's fine. I'm talking about the lack of consistency. I am saying if you are putting Carney, who had played less games for us and less games in total for football, at 40 million while he was injury prone.
By the way, sorry.
You didn't decide to put Petrovic at a similar. That's all I'm saying. You can put him as low as you want because we
That
don't know how well he's
comment, by the
going to.
way,
I'm saying keep consistent.
that comment from Cal is facts, by the way. If he wasn't at Strasbourg last season, like if he was playing for any other club and played as well, if he did played as well as he did last season with the stats, by the way, you know these owners and these smart directors love their stats with the stats to back it up. Bro, we'd be trying to sign him right now if he played for any other team.
But Axe, come on, man.
He had last season.
Yes, Petrovic had a bad game against Luton. He had some bad games, but like I can remember, and I can't even do it on one hand, how many bad games we've had with Robert Lynch Sanchez.
Axe, you can't even say we'd be after Chevalier because based on our fucking talent ID on the recent goalkeepers we're linked to it, Chevalier wasn't even close to the list.
Man, respect Penders.
It was Trafford and Mike Magnan who we were actually going for until we got rejected, and then we said we're not going for him at all actually. So it was actually Trafford, so you can't even say Chevalier.
So join me on the theory. Let's go to the next topic. Okay. Magnan's still on the table.
Nope.
Okay. Here's why I'm thinking this, right? Last time we talked about this, we talked about the whole Fabrizio tweet, right? Where he had to walk it back like literally 5 minutes afterwards. I think something's going on there. Fabrizio has been getting things wrong lately, but that one was specifically that one in terms of us, in relation to us, was a weird one, right? Because he immediately walked it back. So here's the thing. A Chelsea deal for another goalkeeper this summer is deemed unlikely as things stand, according to The Athletic and Simon Johnson. Okay, cool. The Athletic, June 24th. Chelsea held talks with Milan over keeper Mike Maignan only to end in a pursuit earlier this month after failure to agree terms. A deal for another goalkeeper this summer is deemed unlikely as things stand. Now, actually, I should incorporate another topic into this. So, hold on. Bear with me here. I might as well do this right now. Here we go. Negotiating West Ham. Now, this is the tweets we're getting from The Athletic, right? Fair enough. It seems like we're not getting a keeper, all this and that. So then, what exactly is going on here then? And why are we getting rumors from the West Ham camp or from negotiating with West Ham? So we got the Kudus thing here. Might as well talk about this too. Kudus was switch his agents to Roof Management in what could be the clearest indication yet that he could be on the move this summer. West Ham have been considering a move for Chelsea goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. This is coming from the Times. And then obviously more on Kudus is most likely explosive with 3, stocky ball carrier who likes to drive his team up the pitch only with wavering runs. Only Lamine Yamal attempted more take-ons than the Ghanaian last season in Europe's top 5 leagues. So, cool. We're in for Kudus, but there's still this rumor going on about potentially selling Sanchez, even though we're potentially... Penders is very likely to either go on loan or be a backup goalkeeper. I don't see Jurgensen being the number 1 keeper. There's rumors about Robert Sanchez being sold to West Ham or being in a negotiation with West Ham for Kudus. But then we're being told that we're happy with our goalkeepers, but there's still news about our goalkeepers being sold. And then this whole thing about we're happy with our goalkeepers
West Ham is
keeps
interested.
being.
I don't think we're getting we haven't. I don't think maybe I've misread it or I missed something. I don't think we are willing to sell Robert Sanchez. I know West Ham are interested, and we all know why West Ham are interested.
Yeah, because
I could be interested in Liao. Are we getting Liao? I could be interested in Vinny. Am I getting Vinny? No. So it depends on what we are willing to do, which is sell Sanchez, and what West Ham's bid is, which neither has happened.
I think part of it is, this is my thoughts, right? This is my speculation. I would like to believe that maybe, just maybe, because the news still comes up on this. Like, we've already known that we're not going to go back from Maignan for some time now, and it keeps cropping up. I have a feeling that Chelsea are putting out there that we're not interested in Maignan. They keep putting out that we're happy with our goalkeepers. And I think that's a smokescreen to take eyes off of us potentially going back and not coming from a place of desperation or of need. More of like, listen, look at all the news. Milan, fooling Milan into thinking that we're fine. We don't need Maignan, and maybe they'll negotiate with us or something. I don't know.
Actions don't speak louder than words, and AKZ about Petrovic. Brother, you know, Alisson had one good season for Roma before we and Liverpool bought him. Before then, he was the backup to fucking Szczesny. So yes, one good season might be good enough for some goalkeepers. Second of all, your point on Chevalier is actually moot because there was reports today that we were trying to go for Jose Sa last season. So you saying if we sold Petrovic, we might be going for Chevalier? No, because apparently fucking Sa was one of the people we were going for.
It's because I keep hearing news about a goalkeeper, even though we keep being told that there's no interest in the goalkeeper. I don't know. It just, to me, it's something fishy. Something smells fishy over there. So part of me is thinking.
No, 1 sec. Sorry, AKZ. You said moot point because we'd be after Chevalier. Yeah, Chevalier, brother. Jose Sa was last season, the same season you were saying Chevalier. So what point didn't you make? You fucking typed that, you blind cunt. So it's my turn this time. So, you know what I'm saying? It's my turn today. Okay. Second of all, I just proved your point about one good season propelling a goalkeeper. I just gave you fucking Alisson, dumbass. Actually, Maignan had one good season for Lille that moved him to get the fucking Milan deal. It's almost like goalkeepers develop later. It's almost like goalkeepers like figure shit out later or at different points in time compared to most attacking players.
Axe, do you not like? Does him being voted as player of the season for Strasbourg not mean anything to you?
No. He was goalkeeper of the season for the league over Donnarumma and Chevalier that this guy's talking about.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he was. He was in team of the season.
Oh.
Let me look at this.
Oh.
I don't think so, actually, CP. I think Chevalier got that one.
No, I literally saw it. Well, anyways, go ahead. I'll type it 1 second.
Yeah, I think Chevalier got it. But
At the end of the day, this whole I didn't want Petrovic isn't that good. I'm not losing sleep over Petrovic. Cool, you're the same man going to be bitching and crying, just stinking up every week. I don't want to hear a single moan. You man deserve this.
No, I'm looking at Opta. Opta's fucking team of the season. It's right there, Petrovic. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm on the official league.
Oh, official, yeah, first. Okay.
Okay, yeah. It was Chevalier. I mean, regardless, like, he still won player of the season for Strasbourg. I think that means a lot. You know, considering Santos was
over Andre Santos, by the way.
Yeah, over Andre Santos. Yeah, like, I think Santos ended up winning player of the season, like young player of the season for Ligue 1.
Yeah.
I think Ligue 1 young player of the I already typed that out of the season. No, Doué got it. Never mind. Did Doué get it? Yeah, Doué got it. That's tough competition in here, man. But yeah, so it's like I have speculation in thinking that there's a lot of this talk about a goalkeeper. We keep being told we're not in for a goalkeeper, but then we keep being told that there's interest in this and Trafford and all this and that, and it's like, okay, one of these have got to give. Like, are we in for a goalkeeper or are we not? And if we're not in for a goalkeeper, then why are we still getting linked to goalkeepers?
But here's the thing. Even if we are going to be going for a goalkeeper, what makes you think it's Mike?
The only reason I think that is because opportunistic, right? We already went in for it. We had that with
Osimhen. We had that with Osimhen last year.
We have a relationship with Milan, right? But I also feel like it just could be a look. Like, we're looking like we don't need a goalkeeper to be stronger in a negotiating table. I don't know. That's
no, but you could have said the same for Napoli, you know, because we had a relationship because we bought Koulibaly from them. We gave them Lukaku, and then what did we do? We fucking couldn't get Osimhen. So I don't trust his ownership.
I don't think it was on Napoli though. I think that was on Osimhen's agent, right?
Well, it was on both parties because first they wanted stupid prices for him, and eventually during the last day of the season they lowered it enough where we're like, okay, we'll buy him. Like we can buy him.
Listen, what I'm also trying to get at too is like I'm not gonna get my hopes up about Maignan, but they're not completely diminished either. Like I feel like there is something there, but I'm not.
I hope
like,
you know what,
levels
Marshall.
of
I hope I'm proven so wrong, and that we got
so
Mike.
too.
That's I honestly, like, honest to God, I hope I'm fucking dead wrong, and everyone in chat laughs at me because we got Mike Maignan. Because I would be so fucking happy for this club.
I hope Axe laughs at you the most.
Dude, I'm fine with that. If we got Mike Maignan, I would not give.
Yeah, if we get Maignan, I don't give a shit. Bro.
I would be on cloud fucking 9. I will not lie. I would be on cloud fucking 9.
To be fair, if we get Maignan, I'm still gonna crash on these sporting directors unless we get him for 12 million, which is never happening. When we pay the full price,
anything under 20 million that you guys that AC Milan wanted, if you get him for anything under that money, I'm like, okay, you know what? You played hardball for enough. If you pay that much money, then I'm like, you dickheads, you could have got him sooner. And if you don't get him, then I'm like, you're complete idiots.
What do you mean if?
What do you mean?
When?
What do you mean when?
As in when they pay that money, because they will, like. Because
they
always.
Think we're gonna get Mike?
No. I'm saying no. Okay.
Oh, so that's
if we go back in for him, like, if we go back in for him, I am 100% certain we pay the full price.
That money. Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt.
That's what I'm saying. So if we pay anything lower, then I'll give them credit. If we pay the money that AC Milan demanded, then I'm like, you fucking idiots, because we could have got him sooner.
Bro, that 25 million bid is gonna hit like absolute crack, bro.
You know what? Honestly, it's gonna hit like crack because we'll get him. First of all, I'll say I'm happy we got him. Second of all, I'm like, you're the fucking idiots.
It's gonna be such a hollow win, like not a hollow win, but it's gonna be like, bro, you just could have got him earlier. It's the same with the Gittens thing. You just could have got him in before the Club World Cup. Like, I didn't have to watch.
Yeah, if you're gonna pay 55.3 million anyways, get him before the fucking.
I didn't have to watch KDH right wing settings, and then Nkunku stink the pitch. Well, actually, good play anyway. But I didn't have to watch KDH right wing settings. You know, I didn't have to watch Madueke play left wing 3 games in a row and stink 3 games in a row. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets done, I'll be happy it gets done. I'll still be a little bit resentful for all the stress that it caused me prior to that.
Yeah.
So there's that. What about Kudus though? I did bring up Kudus as well. I mean, it looks like we're making some progress with it, but
if we get Kudus and Mike Maignan, this window goes from like a 2 or 3 to like a 7.5, maybe an 8, so quick for me. If we get Mike Maignan and Kudus, because I'm like, oh, we solved our goalkeeper problem, we solved our right winger, left wingers maybe suspect. Like the only thing that could have made it a 10 is like if we got like an Osimhen or a Jokers or something, and I'm like, okay, we fucking solved almost most of our issues that we could in one window, besides maybe a center back.
The fact that the links haven't died out yet tells me that there is a strong interest there. Obviously, there kind of always was because we were linked to him before we got Cole Palmer. Then that deal fell through, or that negotiation.
No, but actually, the release clause apparently expires on the 10th of July or something like that.
It does.
Actually.
Oh, so they have to get that done soon, West Ham, if they want.
Yeah, if they want that money.
That's never happened.
But that's what the reports are hoping for, is that
2 weeks.
They hope for a bidding war, so it does get close to the release price. That's what the West Ham is hoping for.
What other clubs are interested in him? Do we know?
I know Saudi clubs were interested, but he said no to them. Don't know apart from that.
I think some other clubs are too.
If we have a deadline to get it done by, that's never getting done.
Prison Arsenal thinks so, actually. And Saudi.
He's going to either remain at West Ham or he's going to somewhere else.
Dude, if we get him and we sell Madueke to Arsenal, dude, that's what dreams are made of. I won't lie. That's what dreams are made of. That's what you know what I'm speculating. That's a positive speculation for me. That's what dreams are made of.
I wouldn't want to sell Noni to opposition. I feel like Noni actually strengthens Arsenal. I'm not gonna lie to you. but we'll talk about Noni in a minute. Let's talk about another one that people kind of lost their minds over. I kind of feel like it was over nothing. I forgot to make the thing for it. Sorry, here we go. Okay, Acheampong. I figured you guys probably already knew what I was talking about. So, Borussia Dortmund are exploring a deal for Chelsea's Joshua Acheampong. The 19-year-old defender is known to want more first-team opportunities in order to progress. According to Miguel Delaney, there is a belief Chelsea may be willing to sell Josh Acheampong for £35 million. And then Fabrizio came out and debunked it pretty much. Chelsea maintained their position on Josh Acheampong. No intention to sell the player this summer. New contract was agreed a few months ago, and he's seen as key part of the project despite interest from several clubs. Told Chelsea have no intention of selling Josh Acheampong this summer. It's natural that there will be rival clubs who like him because he is a talented 19-year-old, but considering potential star of Chelsea player's future and still progressing. And then Acheampong is a key part of the project, according to Fabrizio as well. He's part of the plans for years to come, according to Ben Jacobs. So, I mean, do you guys feel that if there is like a good bid, like let's say if a club asks like, here, we'll pay you 50 million for Acheampong, do you think Chelsea will take that opportunity, or do you strongly feel that? Okay.
You're talking about pure profit FC, brother. He is. If any club ever put an offer in for that of like of 50 million, he's gone immediately.
I know we have this idea that it's pure profit FC, but I feel like there was a good amount of players that left in that one window that was pure profit window, and then ever since then, like, we just kind of kept some of these players. I mean, Chalobah, for example, as of right now,
we spent an entire window trying to sell Chalobah and failed. But that's the reason he's here, is because we could not find a deal for him. That's why he's still here.
But as of right now, the reports are saying that they don't seem to be pushing him out. Unlike last time, it was big. Like, remember that summer? All we heard was like they want to sell Chalobah. They're pushing Chalobah to leave. They exiled him. This time now,
I'll be real. I think it really depends on two things. Number one, A, if they get a centre back, and B, if they depending on Sar's position.
Axel goes. If anything.
Say again.
I think Axel
yeah, Sassi's gone anyway, but he's the seventh. Yeah. Sorry, he is currently what, 6th choice centre back, maybe 7th. So like he's gone anyway. But my point is that if they get another centre back, then that all of a sudden, because at the moment, like in my mind, the hierarchy is if everyone's fit, it's Colwell and Fofana, Tossin's behind Fofana, Badiashiel's behind Colwell, and then it's Chalobah and Sarr. Fofana's out, so that's 5 centre backs. So then Tossin comes in, so Chalobah's the backup. If we get another centre back, and depending on the Sarr situation, like if he actually impresses, Chalobah's gone. Would not shock me if he's gone in this window, if he's sold.
I wouldn't either. I mean, I was expecting them to approach it the same way they approached it last year again, which is like, you know, we're seeing how they're treating Petrovic essentially, like they're not, or even Paez, like they're not bringing him to the World Cup. This time they decided to bring him, and I don't know. I'm not naive enough to like think that Chalobah's no longer for sale, right? But at the same time, I feel like I'm being slightly proven wrong in that theory by the actions and the you know, the news that we've gotten recently, that it doesn't seem like they're pushing him out. If a good price does come for him, they'll consider it. But it seems like they've been impressed with how he's acted and the professionalism, which we kind of already knew. That's.
I do think. I do agree with you, but I also do think some of it, Marshall, comes from the fact of like you have a million other players you're trying to sell. So like, yes, they're not trying to push him out as of right now, but that's because they're trying to push out Carney and Vega and Disasi and who else? Who else are you trying to push out?
Sterling. Chilwell.
Sterling, Chilwell. There are definitely more that I can't even think of. Yeah, there's definitely more that I'm forgetting. We're trying to push out Felix, potentially Nkunku.
Vega.
Vega already mentioned, bro. Like I said, we're trying to push out 12 to 15 players. If you start adding in the players who because there's a bunch of players who I think are available. If the right price comes in, they're 100% available. So Leslie's another one, yeah. See, I think there's a group of players that are 100% available, but they're if you were to add them to we're just going to try and push them out, you'd be over 20 players that you're trying to push out. That is ludicrous. That's how unfortunately the club is run. That's also ludicrous. So, if a good offer came in for Chalobah, he's gone. If a good offer came in for Gusto, he's probably gone. I do think with Josh, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens because I don't think he's someone they're trying to sell. Not actively push out. I think they want to keep him. But I do think if an offer comes in of 50 million, 55 million, are you telling me they're going to say no? For a third choice right back? And a sixth choice centre back?
Probably not.
He's 18? Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But again, they did. Broja's another one. Yeah, that's true. True. Fofana, Leslie. Yeah. But they didn't pull the trigger on Levi. Right? So, I mean, he's one example.
Saying they turned down 65 million for Colwell, by the way, who was coming into the team as the starting centre-back next to, I think, Thiago Silva at the time, is not in any way comparable to a guy who, at the moment, despite what me and CP and others want, is third choice right-back. It's just not comparable.
Time will tell. I'm always on the fence with these things, but I'm more leaning on the side that they actually have no interest in selling him, that they do see him as a potential coming into the team. Tariq George, I think they're going to see his development. I think they're going to send him out on loan for one season to see how he develops.
Tariq George is gone.
And then when he comes back, maybe he gets sold. Maybe.
Tariq George does not have a place in this squad. He needs a loan because he needs regular game time. Because you could see last season and with the Club World Cup, there is a good player in there, and he has his moments. He's been very good in games in the Conference League, but he had a pretty poor cameo against LAFC, and then he had a good cameo against Tunis. But he needs regular game time. But if he goes out on loan, he's coming back the same season we've got Quenda in. We'll already have Gittens. He's going to be third choice winger. He's pure profit. He's finished. He's gone.
Yeah. Time will tell. Let's see what happens. We'll be here. And also, if you guys are still here, smash up the like button. We do appreciate it. It helps us out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. All right, cool. Let's continue on, because we have a bit more news as well in regards to the striker criteria, the attacking criteria. We'll start off with striker targets. So two bits of tweets here I wanted to go over. So info from The Athletic here. Hugo Getike is more of a box presence. Only Erling Haaland and Mohamed Salah took more shots in the penalty area than the 23-year-old across Europe. He is also
missed most of the...
He is also elusive when he can drift out to the flank and dribble. He is unique profile, tall, slender, and powerful. When he gets into his flow, though, concerns linger about his consistency in front of goal and sizable price tag, which is what Scott pretty much alluded to. And then Enzo Maresca wants players who can play anywhere across the front line, drop deep to link up and play, and rotate with teammates to pull apart stubborn low blocks. Chelsea hold interest in Mohamed Kudus, João Pedro, and Ekitike. So, Ekitike, expensive as fuck, but there's a good player there, and Liverpool are in for him as well. João Pedro, he strikes me more as a backup. Mohamed Kudus, expensive as well, but I think of all of them, I think this is the one I like the most, but not as interchangeable as what Hugo Getike looks like. What do we think about this short list of strikers, or, I mean, the Swiss Army knives of attackers on this list?
I've said my piece on this list. I'm not going to do it anymore.
GP, your thoughts?
Spend this money on Kudus. I don't have time for another versatile striker who's not so great in front of goal.
Yeah, even though Liverpool are going in for Hugo.
That's fine.
Okay.
Should we have bought
Liverpool also went in for Darwin Núñez.
What
Not
other
every
flag?
Liverpool signing is a success.
Marshall, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Should we have bought Verts?
Not for the price tag.
Should we just have bought him though?
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded having a Verts in the team. Just the price tag is what always turned me off to that player, though. I think
My point was going to be with that. Just because another team is interested in him doesn't mean you have to get him. It depends on how he fits. The reason why Ekitike fits better, I actually like. I watched some comps of him. I do like some.
What does this mean? Oh, I get it now.
What?
Hugo.
I do like some. Yeah, I do like some of his stuff. Like from what I've seen,
Yeah.
like he is a type of player and he's a profile I like. He just doesn't really fix the issues we have in the squad in terms like you look at what Delap's come in and done. Obviously, it's a very small sample size, but
Yeah.
that kind of goal scoring and presence in the box sort of thing, he doesn't necessarily have that as much as Delap. So
People are saying this guy's gonna be like the next Isak. That's what they feel. Is that reaching?
I get it. Like he has similar build, similar capability, like abilities in a sense. It's just he doesn't have the finishing that Isak had even before he joined Newcastle, because Isak had like an 18-goal season, I think, with Sociedad before. And this guy has 14 or 15 at his goal conversion rate.
He had 16 last season.
Yeah.
16. Okay,
Yeah, I think the as I said, the issue is like I said, you need him to. If we're going to bring a guy in, I am still of the mindset, and I know Maresca isn't. I know some of our fans are, but I don't really give a shit what our fans. Some of our fans think, to be honest. I'm of the mindset we need a 20+ goal striker to challenge for the league. I don't think Ekitike can get there personally, at least not now. Give it a couple of years maybe, but I think the Lap is closer to getting there currently than he is. The difference with us and Liverpool do not need a 20+ goal striker because they have a 20+ goal scorer in Mohamed Salah. What they need is almost a Bobby Firmino type, a guy who can drop deep link-up play, who may only get you 15 goals, but with Salah in the team, and if Gakpo's on form next season, 15 assists as well, which Ekitike can do. We don't play like that. We don't play with the same type of wingers. Our wingers are nowhere near as effective in terms of goal scoring as those guys I've just mentioned. So it doesn't make sense for us to go and sign him. It makes more sense for Liverpool because he fits the rest of the players. Like he fits the rest of the thing. That's why I said like this idea of he's going Liverpool, cool. They need him more. It's just like, I'll give you an example, Marshall. Hato makes no sense for Arsenal to sign him. It makes every sense for us to sign him. Arsenal already have 3 left backs currently. Obviously, one probably leaves. They've got 2 left backs currently and 8 centre backs. They don't need Hato for any reason other than just hoarding guys at the back. And just hoarding players. We need him because we don't have a backup left back.
Yeah. Also, Scott, I know you're part of Lewis's stream today. Dude,
no, I wasn't.
The way we didn't, you were, I'm sorry. But dude, if you watch that City game, Marmoush, dude, oh my God, he would have solved so many of our issues. Marshall, you have no idea. I'm saying he could be like our left winger, left forward. The way he can shoot long shots is such an amazing weapon just to have in a team, so that people who do drop back are going to be scared the second he has a ball, which can open up space because they have to move forward a bit. And dude, even today, he had a shot. The way he scores long shots from his time in the Prem and from the Bundesliga is an ability that we desperately miss.
I would make the argument that football in general desperately misses that. Not just us.
Yeah, but like some teams already have it. Like Valverde for Madrid. Like that's a fucking sure thing. Lewandowski scores long shots. Harry Kane scores long shots. I wouldn't say necessarily Haaland, but they have Marmoush.
Rodri,
Salah
to
does.
be honest.
Yeah, like Salah
the
does.
outside the box goal, like that. That's just
like Palmer can do it a bit, but the way Marmoush just rockets it in is something like if we had on our team, especially if because he would be like a left forward, left winger. That would oh my god, that would be an attack where I'm like, we could go for the league. Like, we could.
So I'm gonna summon Kai by saying this, but don't you think Enzo Fernandez can eventually become that for us?
No, not long shots. He can be box crashing is superb. He's not been even through his if he develops that next year.
He's
sure.
been getting
He's
better.
developed.
Like as a player, he's been improving.
Oh no, yes, as a player, agreed. But I haven't seen his long shot ability get better. So he could develop that skill.
Yeah,
hasn't happened yet. But he developed his. We saw his box crashing develop throughout the year. So maybe, but I don't think Enzo
I know,
can do that.
but the reason I'm saying
Like
it,
maybe
though,
you could say Santos could because he did that during his
Mm-hmm.
time in Strasbourg. I think.
But
out of
the
his
reason I
8
bring
goals,
it up,
2 or
the
3 of
reason
them
I
were
bring it up,
long shots.
CP. I don't know if you guys in chat remember or if you guys on the panel remember.
Yeah,
Like I remember looking at Enzo, and again, this is take it with a pinch of salt. Liga knows, don't rate it as much, but the style of play was there, right? I remember when I was looking into Enzo Fernandez before he came into the club, one of the things that I liked about him was that he liked to take those shots outside the box. Just not seeing it nearly enough as I did.
No, but it's not even
Benfica.
taking those shots; it's converting those shots. I don't care.
Converting
you can take
them,
how many long shots, yeah, right. Like that's why I can see it maybe in a Santos because I saw him. I think 3 out of his 8 goals he scored in the league were long shots. So I could see that, like, because he definitely has that power and drive for long shots. So I would say Santos might have.
I mean,
more
to
of that
be
ability.
fair, I think Moises Caicedo is developing that too.
Actually, yes, because 2 of them have been chalked offside or whatever because of circumstances. But
you look at the training videos,
he
they're
has the
practicing these shots
No,
outside.
he has the
the
ability.
box.
That's a fair point. Yep.
Delap is doing it as well. Like he can definitely do it, especially with the technique
I don't know.
he's got.
I don't know about Delap, but I would definitely say at least for Chelsea's perspective, Caicedo, you're right. He scored 2 or 3 long shots in the past.
I think it was 2 last season.
And then one the season before.
One the season before, yeah.
Because it was that the one that became a penalty for Enzo was he scored it against Spurs. The season before.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying though. Like I do miss those profiles, like those types of 10s. He was playing as a striker today, Marmoush, or that's what the thing said. But he's just like a central attacker. It seems like he can be a 10, he can be a false 9, he can be all up in that striker area, that middle channel, but I mean, we have players that can do it. It's just a matter of like, if this is what I'm thinking, like you can probably get Caicedo to fulfill those shots outside the box if you have a fit Lavia that then allows Caicedo to move up the pitch and be more of an 8 rather than like a 6, you know?
Yeah, but like then you're rotating the midfield. Like I'd rather have it on the attacker. I'd rather have it on the attacking side because then I know if I have that specific attacker, he's gonna play right. Like Marmoush is starting week in, week out.
But I'm saying like if we have like a double pivot, right, where it's Lavia as 1, he would be the lone 6, and then you have Caicedo be the like kind of like the Enzo role, but not as much of a attacking 8, but just like a box to box 8 that can be outside the box and take those shots.
Yeah,
maybe. I mean, this is all theory, right? But like I feel like this is stuff that Maresca is going to consider. Like we know Cole Palmer can do it as well, but he needs to improve his form right now. I think Delap can do it, to be honest. We just haven't seen like in at the game against Tunis, Delap wanted to take a shot outside the box so many times because of the low block, which
and also the
credit to
goalkeeper
Tunis. What happened?
Also the goalkeeper shit, so I would take a long shot too. I get it, Delap. That's a mindset too.
Yeah, it was it was definitely something you see the players capable of doing and was itching to do it, but just the players kept getting in his way. We'll see. This season, upcoming season, we'll play him more. We'll see. Like I think we'll have more attempts outside the shot now that we have an actual striker. Like I do think Delap can do it. He's got a good technique to do it. So he'll be one to definitely watch this summer, obviously. Well, since we're talking on striker, I might as well bring this up now, right? Jackson, not for sale. All right. Well, let's see. Let's see what the news is about. So, let's read some tweets. Info: there's a lot of scrutiny on Nicolas Jackson's future following his red card against Flamengo last week, according to The Athletic. Suggestion that Juventus and Napoli are keen on signing Nicolas Jackson have been dismissed because Chelsea do not think they can afford the 24-year-old. Oh, they're saying Juve and Napoli can't afford a 24-year-old. Why? Because of the next tweet, not this one. Chelsea are not actively looking to sell Nicolas Jackson, but they do not regard him as untouchable, even though he was given a contract extension until 2033 last year. There is interest in Premier League clubs and those in Saudi leagues. And then here is why we don't think Juve and Napoli won't be able to get him. Chelsea maintained their price for Nicolas Jackson. When Chelsea called for Ekitike, the answer was 100 million euros. I'm not saying Jackson is the same, but Chelsea would want important money. Impossible for Italian club at current conditions. Chelsea won't sit at the table for 40 million pounds. And that's all the tweets I have. Now, I had this debate with Kai. I think at the minimum, we will sell, if we do sell him, that he will go for more than 50 million euros. Maybe even 50 million pounds. I'll even say that. I'll put my neck out. I think we could sell Jackson for more than 50 million pounds. No less than 50 million, though. Like, I understand he's not the prolific goal scorer or that he's the finished product in terms of the finishing ability, but I still hold that when he's playing at his best and not being a fucking shithead like he has been lately, he can actually play well, maintain the ball. He has dribbling ability. He's deceptive. He gives defenders a problem. He can link up play really well. Like, he links up. I remember I used to argue for Havertz's link up play, and then Jackson came into the team, and I was like, never mind. Havertz's link up play was mediocre at best. This guy actually has good link up play, and can, find you with a good pass as well.
I would more say like 45 million than 50 million.
How dare you?
Yeah.
No,
I would say about that much. Yeah, I would say about that price. Just because, like, you could say his stocks are, if you were saying last year, then you could say probably 55 million, maybe even 60 million if you wanted to push it. But this year it's been less productive. His actions and what he's done is going to probably, if you're looking at it from the outside, ruin his price because he got 2 red cards in 2 key situations. You could say one near the end of the Premier League and he's suspended for the first game, and now for the Conference League in a very short space of time, while he's not goal scoring. Right, so I'm saying 45 million right now. And
even at the end of last season, there was he was definitely, they were going to sell him really well, like for a high price. At the end of 14 goals, non-penalties. Even this season, like, let's be honest, guys, like 10 non-penalty goals on a really shit season. Like, I know that's not great, but it's also not shit either. Like, compared to
so that's why
a
he's
lot of the
45
strikers
million
in the market.
Yeah, sell him for 45. And if anyone comes with 45 million, sell him right away. Because I know you're not going to buy me a proven goal scorer, but I'm slightly trusting at least your talent ID when it comes to some of these middle tier price point signings that are young, right? Like Samu was like what, 30 something million, right? Duran was 40 million. This Walterberg guy who's gone to Bayern was like, I think 30 million.
Oh, was there actually a price on him? I didn't see that.
That's what it's rumored at from last time I saw. I'm just saying in general is the price for him is what I saw. But yeah, like, I feel the weird thing is they do well with this weird price range of, like, for the young kids, not Joao Felix because he's not young when we got him, but for the young kids, like anywhere between 35 to like 50 million is a price range that these sporting directors get a decent value for money for the players that they get usually.
It's a decent profit too. I mean, we did get the player for what, 25 million pounds, 30 million euros?
No, I think it was 30 million. No? So it'll still be 50 million. Even if it's 45, it'll still be 50. So.
Nicolas Jackson to Chelsea fee It was
Is that
32 million pounds.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
32 million pounds, not bad. So we can get 8 million pounds. That's what I'm saying. Like, I really think we can get 50 million pounds with the player. I'm gonna go get some a drink real quick. Scott, what do you think about this?
I think he, excuse me. I think he's in that same group of players I talked about earlier with like Chalobah. It's like I don't think they're pushing him out the door, but if an offer comes in for him is suitable, he's 100% gone. But yeah, I wouldn't sell him for anything less than 45 million personally, because I just don't think that's very good value for money in terms of like. I don't think he's not a player you have to make a loss on. Like, he's not a Disassi, he's not a Felix. He's not one of those guys who's been a complete net negative, so you have to like just take whatever you can get for him. So yeah, I think they should like hold out for that 45 million minimum. If you can get 50, like, or 55, fantastic. I don't think you can personally. But yeah, if you can get that much, fantastic. But as I said, I don't think he's someone they're actively trying to push out the team. I think it's just a case of he is available for the right price. Excuse me.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think if we're selling, let him snap hands. Oh, okay.
Not a terrible idea.
I guess.
Don't know if
It's
he
not
starts
terrible
over
idea.
Omega or anything.
Yeah, I don't think
Really?
he's would start over. Yeah, because Omega's younger than him.
Omega's in
And
form
he's
last
also,
season.
yeah, and Omega scored like I think 12, 13 goals, and he's like what? Omega's like 21, 22. He's like at least 2 to 3 years younger than Jackson.
But I feel like he's a lot more neat on the ball or more tidy on the ball than Omega.
I don't know. I haven't
I
watched
don't care who. I don't care who's neat on the ball. If you're whoever scores more goals at the strike. Like
I
Holland's
mean,
not
that
neat
helps
on the
with
ball.
possession is what I'm trying to get at.
No, I get you. But if Omega's scoring more goals in general, right? Like let's say in that league, then, like that's kind of the Liam Delap situation, right? Like we have Delap who's not better on the ball than Jackson, but he has the movement and the striking ability.
I think Jackson can go in that league and score more than Omega. That's my thought. That's my 2 cents. Not trying to disrespect Ligue 1, but I think because of just how physical the Premier League has been, I think that adapts your football. And I'm not saying Ligue 1 isn't physical either, right? Like I know Ligue 1 is a physical league as well, but like I think the Premier League is a lot more physical. So I do think that he can go into that league having been adapted to the Premier League and just show a good amount. I don't know about this, but yeah, I think he can fare well. That'd be hilarious.
I like that.
Another player I might as well bring up, and I know CP wants to sell him, so let's potentially have this debate. Okay, cool. Let me bring him up right now. Noni, also potentially not for sale. So let's go ahead and discuss this. So update, winger Noni Madueke is in a similar position to Jackson at the club. Not regarded as untouchable, he is not up for sale, but a bid might be listened to if high enough, according to The Athletic. Continuing on, Arsenal are among several clubs monitoring Noni Madueke's situation at Chelsea. Madueke has not been put up for sale by Chelsea, but he's not been offered a new contract either. How much?
Yeah,
I'll look it up
isn't he
afterwards.
still on a shitload of years? Like,
Yeah, I don't know why he would be offered a new contract anyways.
Like, the only way he's going to be offered is if he has an amazing season, like Palmer or Caicedo did. So I don't.
Yeah, which he's still
my
yet
bad.
to. He's
Let me Google
improved,
this
but
while
he's
you
just,
continue this.
Yeah. So Enzo Maresca on Madueke's future. Noni is our player. You can read a lot of speculation at the moment, but we consider Noni our player for the coming seasons. Then Transfer News also says here from Ben Jacobs on TalkSport, Enzo Maresca really likes the profile of Noni Madueke, so I don't think Chelsea are really putting him up for sale. But if the right price and suitor comes along, there might be an opportunity. Now, what is that profile? And that's why I think Noni is good for the system, right? Oh, one more thing, Miguel Delaney. Here we go. Arsenal have been speaking to Chelsea about a potential move for Noni Madueke as Stamford Bridge hierarchy anticipate another summer of high activity. Chelsea want £50 million for the player. I think that's a good price. I think that's a good price for him. Because like what was said before in a previous tweet, I think what Noni does profile was in the system, and I think you guys will agree, is that he's more direct. He will go at the goal, he will try to score, whereas a Neto, he's looking for a cross, he's looking for a pass into the box. Sancho was always trying to dribble and create an opportunity in the box. Noni can do that as well, but Noni, I think, likes to go for the glory a little more, likes to go and take a shot, likes to go and get a goal. He's more of that goal scoring profile that we need in the team, which is why I think to an extent we're going for Gittens, because Gittens has a similar approach. He's looking to get into the box in goal scoring positions based on what I saw in Fluminense, right? Malik Fofana, maybe not as successful, but he's very aggressive, tries to get into the box, tries to score a goal. So I think it's those profiles that Maresca likes, and in terms of that, the only profile we have that's like that, I would say, is Noni. I think Tariq George can be like that, but he's still developing, and he's not where Noni is right now. Maybe you guys agree or disagree with what I assessed on Noni. I don't know if CP found.
Yeah, so he's done it 2030, but the club also has a year option on top of that, so till 2031, possibly.
So he essentially still has 5 years in his contract.
5 to up to 6 years. So
Yeah.
why would anyone renegotiate when he's only scored 7 goals?
Yeah, that's the weird one. I think Matt Law was kind of just fluffing up on that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Can we stop playing Noni at left wing?
Yeah, man. We love to left. Hey, we don't have a left winger, and Sancho left.
That's
George
kind of
looks
the
like
problem,
he's gonna
yeah.
move. So that's the issue, right? That's why we're going for
Yeah.
Man City player number 500. So.
Yeah, that's kind of why he's been playing at left wing, right? Because I think Maresca prefers Neto on that right wing. That's his natural position. Not to say Neto can't play on the left. I would argue. I mean, would you guys say that Neto's better on the left wing than Noni is on the left wing?
Depends on like how are you going to utilize him in the system.
Mm-hmm.
I would say yes, because crossing wise, Neto's better, and
Yeah.
Nani is Mr. Cut inside and shoot. So
Yeah.
he's not gonna do that on the left anyway. So he's Mr. Beat a man and cross on the left wing. I think Neto
Yeah.
can do that anyway, so I'd rather have Neto.
Yeah, I agree. I'd rather just swap him back, to be honest. I feel like it worked in that first game where no one was expecting it, and then the second game, maybe the third game, and then after that, it's kind of been a bit of a downhill. Not to say like against Tunis, like he was effective, he was doing stuff, but nothing came of any of the stuff he was doing really. And he didn't pass the ball in that one play as well, if I remember correctly. I don't.
Yeah, when you
remember.
ran into 6 people,
Mm-hmm.
like 2 people, and he's like, let me just keep driving at the ball until right before the edge of the box, let me just run into 6 people.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, how do you guys feel about the potential sale of Noni? Do you think? I mean, CP. I mean, you want him gone, right?
Yeah, like 45 million, 50 million, get him gone. I don't like that. Like nothing under 45, to be honest. Like 45 million, same as Jackson, get him gone. I honestly don't care where he joins, even if it's Arsenal. I don't care because he's a backup role. I don't. So what? He's gonna like beat a man and then have no end products. You're telling me Martinelli then? Cool. Or Trossard. Name me X winger that's been shit for Arsenal. So, like, cool. If you're telling me Waneri is going to be down in the pecking order, sure, I'll take that then, because that means Waneri's not being showcased, and I think Waneri is already better than Noni in terms of decision.
Really?
Yeah, Waneri is better than Noni in terms of decision making. Yeah. He's a better playmaker. I'm not saying he might be better at shooting, but he's definitely a better playmaker and decision maker than Noni and Madueke.
Do you agree with that, Scott?
I haven't seen enough of Waneri to say definitively yes or no. Like, I just haven't watched enough of him, to be honest.
I mean, I want to see Nwaneri do it again. You know what I mean? Do another season.
I get it. I'm just saying it's mostly
just
the only thing that holds Noni back is his decision making.
yeah.
That's what it is.
You know what it is though, CP? Like part of me is also like, okay, if we sell Nani, I want to improve on that position, right?
Yeah,
I
agree.
I think Esteval is an improvement, and I know I'm speaking very soon, but
No, I get it.
at the same time, like based on what I'm seeing, like you give him a season in the Prem, and then the following season, I think Esteval cooks, right?
The only
Go for it.
so the only way I'm selling Nani is if we get two players. If we're getting a Morgan Rogers on the left, so then Neto goes on the right. So then it's Neto and Esteval.
That's fair.
Or if we sell Nani and get Kudus. Those are only two options I see as like I'm selling Nani. Other than that, all the other wingers, like I'm not. If we get Gittens, does that mean I'm selling Nani? No, not necessarily.
Yeah,
It's fucking the same shit on the left side.
I mean, with me,
As long as
and this is just because I haven't watched him enough. With me, the Kudus moves feels like a sideways move. Like it just,
Why?
you know what I mean? Like I just don't feel like Kudus moves the needle. Like I feel like we stay in
Oh,
that
he
same
does. He
like
definitely does.
quality.
He definitely does. I'm
'Cause,
sorry.
like-
Kudus. Okay, so Kudus this season, been shit. Also, they were like 16.
I'm not basing it off of this season.
No, I know, but
basing it off the
if we're
last
basing
season,
it off,
yeah.
if we're basing it off his first season, in which West Ham was a better team, that man almost had 20 GNA in the league. He had, I think, 18. He had 9 goals and 7 assists. And if you're telling me he's joining a top 4 side, I'm expecting his GA to be slightly better by at least 3. So that's 20 GNA. That's more than Nani's given me. Even if he had if Kudus had the same season as he did in the West Ham for his first season, that's 18. All I wanted from Nani this season was 15 GNA in the league. He still hasn't given me that. It was 11. 7 goals and 4 assists. If you give me 15, that's a decent, pretty good winger season of GNA. So that's why I'm saying Kudus would be moving the needle for me, because he's at least proved to me, at least for a season, he's done better. And Kudus and Nani aren't that far apart in age. I think it's only 2 years.
Yeah, I mean,
And he can play the cam. And he might not play left wing well, but he can play the cam well. If you want to do one time where let's say Palmer's on the right wing and you want to play Kudus as a cam just for one game for a particular opponent.
I think if the club want to do it, I'm not going to be upset about it. I mean, I don't really want to sell Nani. I feel like he can be useful. I feel like he does go through these slumps that I hope, this is hopium, I hope eventually he becomes, shut up. I hope eventually he just, you see less and less in those slumps and more of the better performances. And if you do go for Kudus, then, I mean, it's not my money. Like, fine, sideways move. Let's see what Kudus can bring to the table and if he can improve as well. I do agree with you on this player, and I'll move on to this next topic as well. We're transitioning over to Rogers then. So there has been some interest in Morgan Rogers. I just wanted to point out these details because I've been holding on to these tweets for a bit now and might as well just get them out. So this is as of June 10th. There's not been much news on Rogers, but there's still some links here and there. Chelsea have contacted agents of Morgan Rogers with the player thought to be open to the move this summer. Aston Villa's price tag is £80 million, according to Simon Phillips. Ben Jacobs on the 17th had said here that Chelsea will be opportunistic should Morgan Rogers genuinely become available, even though Aston Villa don't wish to sell, and are looking at other exits to satisfy PSR compliance. June 20th, Chelsea boss Maresca is an admirer of Aston Villa's Morgan Rogers, according to BBC Sport. And I do believe they have already played. I mean, Maresca has already coached them in when he was in the city.
Obviously.
Yeah. Thanks, Scott.
Former City player, bro. Like,
yeah, I mean, he's familiar with Lap. He's familiar with Palmer. I think this would be a great signing.
Lavia, don't forget Lavia.
Lavia as
He
well.
was there with Tosin for 3 months. So technically knows
Yeah.
Tosin.
Yeah.
That's why we're in for Trafford.
And O'Reilly.
We're apparently and O'Reilly. What would you say, Scott? Is it the class of 2021? Is that the class we're trying to go for? Is that the class?
No, bro, it's every class. Like, because Tosin was in the class. Because I remember watching him.
Yeah, but Unk was only there for 3 months, so let's discount him, right? So we got the
No,
Rodgers,
but like
the
I remember,
Lam-
no, but it was Sancho as well, bro. Like I remember watching Tosin and Sancho play against Chelsea, bro. I remember watching them play against Chelsea in the FA Youth Cup final in 2017, maybe, whenever it was, bro. They got battered. Like Chelsea dominated them in that final.
Mm.
But yeah, like it's just every single class.
I'm gonna transfer market. Have Aston Villa made any transfers so far?
Nope.
They have to sell players.
They've released one squad player, to my knowledge. And that's it.
Overview transfers and rumors. All transfers. Okay. Oh well, I should put current season transfers, but yeah, something's got to give eventually with Aston Villa, right? Like I'm sure. Is this the one you're talking about, Scott Olsen or House?
Yeah,
Olsen. 25, 26.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Courtney Hawes. Yeah, they've got. Well, Courtney Hawes wasn't there last season. They got rid of Olsen.
Free transfer, and they bought a player so far. His name is Uzkan.
Who?
Yazin Uzkan.
Well, I think they already bought him in January, maybe.
€7 million, yeah.
And loaned him, or they agreed a deal in January, but it didn't go through till now. I don't remember.
Yeah. So, is that Feyenoord? That's not Feyenoord. Oh no, it's not. Yeah. So like, they haven't been doing much business, obviously, in the transfer window. There will come a point where this is gonna be a hot commodity. Like they're gonna have to sell someone.
Well, don't they have to sell them now, Marshall? Because the PSR season's technically end of June, no? So it should be this weekend. If we're gonna hear
I think
anything.
you're speculating that we're gonna have a very very busy next 2 weeks.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying busy. I'm saying technically the PSR season ends end of June, and we're at the end of June. So if they are gonna sell people, it should be around now. Like this weekend should be the time because Tuesday is July 1st. So
there's a grace period if they can prove they're working towards sales. Maybe.
Okay. So even if there's a grace
case,
period,
then,
so
yeah,
the
maybe,
next 3 weeks, then let's say the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
With the grace period.
I'm gonna be paying attention because, we saw that chart that had their PSR thing, and they were just They were fucked. They were just barely above the green. Like they were in danger of going under, which is not good for PSR. And I think they're not back in UCL. They're in Europa, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That hurt their finances a bit as well. They needed to get that UCL spot for the finances. So Morgan Rogers, even though he might want to keep him, good evening, Unai Emery. I do think
good evening.
He is on that chopping block. So is Ollie Watkins. I think Ollie Watkins is going to force a move. Not force a move, but he's going to be looking for his way out of the club just because they had a little bit of a falling out. I think McGinn stays. I think Konza stays. I think Tielemans stays. Who else do they have that they can get rid of? They're not going to get Rashford, Asensio.
Trying to get rid of Ramsey, I think. And Bailey might leave. But
Ramsey might leave. I can definitely see Ramsey leave.
Yo, would you take Asensio? Would you take Asensio as a backup for Palmer?
Maybe.
Depending on how much.
I would.
You could do like a loan, potentially.
Yeah, if I could get him for a loan, I would. That's winning experience in the Champions League.
And you saw you saw it.
Yeah, exactly. And he plays right wing / cam. Oh, dude, I would take him in a fucking heartbeat as a backup for Palmer. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. So, we were just talking about Kudus and all that. Like, I think if we are going to sell Noni, if we do get a Rodgers or Kudus, I don't mind either. I prefer the Rodgers move, to be honest, just because I do rate Rodgers a lot. I think he's a really good player. And it looks very doable in the set. Actually, to be honest, both do look very, very like, you know, we could probably get it done. You know, one has a release clause, the other one has PSR issues, need to sell. So, and plus I'm pretty sure we have good relations with Aston Villa. I don't know about West Ham. Yeah, with
we fucking better. We fucking got them killing for fucking Ian Maatsen for cheap. Yeah, we fucking better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ian Maatsen hasn't worked out very well for them though. But it
Yeah, it does.
What do you mean? He's barely played.
What?
No, he.
Yeah, Ian Maatsen's not had too many minutes under Unai Emery. Yeah, I can look it up right now. Hold on.
Are you sure about
He's
that?
only played. Oh fuck! No, wrong thing. Current season, right?
Brother, he played 29 games.
Oh, actually, no. You're right. You're right. Because those minutes aren't a lot. It's 1,112.
1,127. So he's probably played.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. It's not too many.
You are correct. You are correct.
He
Yeah,
played
he's come on. He's come on
1,800
as a
minutes,
sub.
1,900 minutes last season. You know, he only played slightly less than Nonana.
No, he played 1,200 in the Prem. Are you? Oh, you're talking about the entire season. Okay, yeah. Fair.
The entire season.
Yeah, because they also
Yeah, he
played
probably
champs.
got starts in
Yeah, FA Cup
the
and
club.
champs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I don't think it's. Yeah, he got a lot of starts in.
He was starting a lot towards the end of the season as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Yeah. There's a lot more full 90s at the end of the season for sure. Jesus, yeah, he's basically a starter at the end of the season. I wonder what happened. I wonder if it was like a. I mean, he's probably going to start a lot more next season because I think they're going to get rid of Matty Cash, right? Isn't that the same position?
Nope.
No, right.
Try again.
Oh, Digne.
Yeah.
The guy I don't rate. We're not going back to that.
If he was back up for Chilwell season, oh, he would have cooked for us.
But yeah, Morgan Rogers, I think, yeah, we should have a good relationship with them. I think we can get that done. We'll see.
Go and get
It's
him,
been
man.
quiet.
Like,
It's been quiet, but that's one I would be glad if we get it. And I don't care how quiet it is, as long as it actually, like, you know, in 2-3 weeks, like we were just saying.
I
surprise,
don't
hey, we
care
got
how
it done.
quiet it is. I don't care how quiet it is until it's the third week of July, and then I care how quiet it is because the Premier is going to start in 2 weeks after that. Basically, 2 to 3 weeks after that. So I'm not going to care until at least 3 weeks from now, and then I'm going to give a full shit. So.
Yeah. Okay, cool. 2 more topics, ladies and gents, and then we're going to wrap it up. I appreciate every single one of you that have been tuning in or have been here since the beginning. Big up to you guys. If you haven't done so already, smash up the like button. It helps us out. We're at 50 likes already, which is always the goal. We do appreciate it, guys. It helps us out tremendously with the stream. But the last 2 topics that I have is starting with this one. Oh, I just skipped it. Here we go. A swap deal between Garnacho.
But you got this.
and
We're talking
Nkunku.
about this nonsense. You fucking got this.
All right, let's start with this first tweet. Matt Law saying Chelsea and Man United are weighing up the possibility of trying to send Christopher Nkunku and Alejandro Garnacho in opposite directions this summer. Now listen, wordplay. I had to point it out specifically because I don't want Scott crashing out. United have made contact with Christopher Nkunku to send him out over a possible move to Old Trafford. Seems that Christopher Nkunku, Manchester United, is driven by Christopher Ravel, which makes perfect sense. Former Chelsea technical director. He knows Nkunku from his time at Red Bull Leipzig and Chelsea. Will you sell him to United? Well, yeah. I don't know. I don't think so. Chelsea, Manchester United are aware of the opportunities of Nkunku Garnacho. No negotiations yet, according to Fabrizio right here. And then the Athletic coming out that Alejandro Garnacho is open to remaining in the Premier League with London top of the list. Chelsea hold on interest, and a price of £70 million has been okay. That's not happening, bro. It's not happening. Sorry. It's not happening. We're not gonna pay surely we cannot pay 70 million pounds for Garnacho. Surely we don't. We're not that dumb. We can't be that dumb.
Are you sure about that?
I'm almost positive. If I'm wrong, million apologies. Million apologies to you, Scott. Million apologies to everyone in chat. And million apologies to everyone I ever called retarded, because clearly I am the king of it. But yeah, I don't think they do that. There's no way. 70 million is an insane price to ask for this player. I do think it's his entourage trying to push a move and say, like, you know, journalists like, report this. Really, we need to sell Alejandro. He needs a move. He needs to get out of here. Yada yada yada. So I do think there's a lot of like putting him out in the market, making it seem like there's interest when there's really not. And Napoli seemed to be like the number one team, that the number one interest in so on and so forth. He's definitely burned a bridge at United. He's not staying. He's definitely going this summer. He has to go this summer. But all in on nothing ever happens. Okay. Yeah. What do you think about this, Scott? Would you? Well, I already know what you think about Garnacho, but would you sell Nkunku to United?
Sure.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really care. Like, he hasn't done anything for us. Why am I going to think he's going to do anything for them?
You don't. So you're not buying into this idea that he's just disgruntled here at Chelsea?
He can be disgruntled, but like, I think the thing is, it depends on the other players around him, and it depends on where he's going to play, right? Like, I don't even know if he'd be a starter there. If he is, where does he play? If they get an Mbuemo as well. And honestly, I just want him gone. Like, he doesn't fit us. He's not going to work here. It hasn't worked here. It's quite clear that it's not like, it's not working. Even when he is like invested, because I'd say he seemed pretty invested the other night and was still kind of meh. So yeah, I just don't really think there's much that he's bringing to the table.
I do think the interest is genuine, because the Vivell link, for sure. Vivell is like a big fan of his, and he's like the main reason we got him done here at Chelsea. But I don't know. I feel like as soon as he goes to another club, we'll see the Nkunku we all thought we were going to see at Chelsea. Because he will get like minutes, he'll get, you know, a start, you know, he will be given that start. And I don't know, I like, at times, throughout the season, I've always felt that Nkunku was just not interested, not involved, because he wasn't interested, didn't care, and just showed it through the body language and stuff. Now, I know the preseason, all that stuff has happened, and not the preseason, but the Club World Cup, and we just saw him perform. Oh, okay. It wasn't anything scintillating. It was okay at best. I still think he was hogging the ball like crazy, but I don't know. I feel like it's too late for him to work out at Chelsea, but potentially at United as, you know, a replacement to Højlund. I think he gets in the team as a striker over Xerxes. So, and even in the left wing, if they get rid of Garnacho, I think he could do a job at the left wing. He won't be taking a 10. You got Mbuemo, you got Bruno Fernandes as well. So I don't think he'll be playing in like a 10. Not that the Imminent system. I don't think Imminent system actually even uses a 10. But yeah, I can see him working out at United. I don't know if I'd want to sell him to United, to be honest. Especially because this kid's involved too, and I don't want to fucking do some negotiating where like, oh, we'll throw in Garnacho if you give us Nkunku type bullshit. Especially for this price. Like, that's ridiculous. Holy shit, dude. It's an insane price. CP, would you pay 70 million for Garnacho? I think CP's away. All right, chat. I know there's at least one of you that would pay 70 million for Garnacho. Come out.
If you would pay 70 million for Garnacho, you're off your head. Actually, I know there are people. They're trolls, but Unfortunately, they exist.
There's a certain someone I know that I think would, and I have to talk to him next time we do a show together. So I have to check on his temperature and make sure he's all right in the head. But yeah,
I think it's the same person I'm thinking of as well.
Yeah, it is. He was on the channel before. So yeah, I'm definitely.
He's the professional troll I was talking about.
You'd be surprised. I don't think he trolls half the time.
No, he is. He's a professional troll, bro.
God, I don't.
You don't have the opinions that he does, and not be a professional troll. He's either a professional troll or he's genuinely like. I'm not going to say anything. Actually, that's not nice.
I think he has the opinions he has, but says them out loud specifically to rile up people because he knows that people don't like his.
So he's a professional troll.
But it's an actual like opinion though. I'll talk to him. I'll have to break it down because I have to understand why. Why would someone want Garnacho? Like, I understand the argument I gave, right? Like, I think there can be a good player there, but none of that outweighs outside of the pitch, the entourage that follows him, the unprofessionalism. For fuck's sake, dude, the guy just took a picture with a rival, with not a rival, but like an opposing team's kit on with Rashford. And like, why? That just doesn't make any sense. You're just trying to cause drama at that point. Like, it's just unprofessional. It's disgusting. I can't have that type of shit.
Bro. That's why he did it.
I just can't. Players do that all the time. What do you mean players do that all the time? I don't fucking see Disasi wearing a goddamn like Arsenal kit or Sterling doing this shit. Kepa didn't even do this shit. And Kepa was the one that was going against Sarri for the fucking penalty shootout. Did refuse to be subbed off. Even fucking Lukaku didn't do that. Where other team? Okay, it's obviously you can wear a fucking other team's kit, Axe. That's not the point I'm getting at. It's the fact that you post it on Instagram for everyone to see when you know you're like a fucking public figure and people are following you and gonna say some shit. That's the point. You know for damn well that's the point I'm making. This guy's like not serious, bro. Like I can't have him at this club. It's just too much trouble than it's worth. It's too much trouble than it's worth. It's a Rashford kit, to be fair, bro. There's no fairness about it. You're wearing a fucking... Then wear the fucking United Rashford kit. You don't have to wear a Aston Villa one. It's not like he's fucking saving up his pennies to buy a fucking kit because he can't afford it. Bro, he could buy fucking all the kits from the fucking United marketplace or whatever the fuck. Spicy rivalry. It's fucking ridiculous. You guys are ridiculous. Okay, last story then. I'm calling it a night. All right. And that's going to be on Jamie Gittens. Deal imminent. Deal imminent. Still imminent. God damn it. This deal is just not going to get done. So this is ridiculous, man. It's taken forever to get this shit done. And this is absurd. So, all right. Let's see what we have in regards to this story. And then we'll close it off. But Chelsea are close to completing a Jamie Bino Gittens deal. A direct meeting with Borussia took place on Monday. Breaking: Chelsea are set to sign Jamie Gittens from Borussia Dortmund. Clubs are holding talks in the USA. An agreement is coming. 7-year contract, according to David Ornstein. Dortmund expects Gittens to move to Chelsea. There is an expectation of a face-to-face meeting in the United States, which happened on Monday. Dortmund continued to demand a fee of £55.3 million for Jamie Gittens, and Chelsea are now ready to meet the Bundesliga side's demand. Okay, so that's going for CF Bayern. I see what you guys are talking about. They're ready to meet that. We'll see if they meet it. Okay, here we go. So Matt Law is saying Dortmund expect Jamie Gittens to move to Chelsea despite turning down a £42 million bid, with talks between the two clubs ongoing, expectations of a face-to-face meeting in the United States and at the Club World Cup. Chelsea and Dortmund have been in direct contact again in recent hours for Jamie Bino Gittens. The agreement is getting closer as talks continue in the United States. Now, I figured I'd shoehorn this in because this is part of the reason I think this deal is getting done, right? Borussia Dortmund have asked conditions of a potential deal for Dan Ndoye, who is one of the names shortlisted to replace Jamie Bino Gittens, according to Luca Bendoni. And then might as well shoehorn this in here because this could potentially be done as part of the deal. We'll see. I think I've mentioned this before, but I think you guys have turned me down on it with good reason. I probably forgot the reasons are. Dortmund are close to an agreement with Chelsea to extend Carney Chukwuemeka's loan for next season, according to Build. And by the way, got to see Carney play live. Great player. Great player. It's a damn shame he can't stay fit, man, but he's good. He's good. But yeah, still not done, guys. Still not done. Is it going to get done? Plot twist: are we gonna leave Jamie Bino Gittens in London, in a hotel room in London, and go for Lao
or Rogers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me back, Marshall. I just couldn't do that fucking previous topic for my mind's mental health. You know, that topic I got so fucking good.
That explains it. Okay.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do it. If these guys,
it is getting boring, TKO.
Yeah, no, I get you, T. If this is the guy, let's get him. Obviously, negotiate for a lower price than this fucking bullshit 55.3 million you guys seem to be fine with getting.
Hopefully, it's just Germany's price.
Yeah. But if this is the guy, can we get this done in 2 weeks time, please? Because hopefully we're at the final of the Club World Cup, they're out, and we can do our show. I'm not very excited for this fucking Gittens, but
I'll be honest.
I can't lie. Most of the Man City products for us have hit that we have bought, not that we have loaned in Sancho. So let's see if that continues.
I take this with a pinch of salt, ladies and gents, and TP. But fucking Chelsea Dodgers in that comments right there.
That's what I was laughing at, bro. I couldn't stop laughing.
Big up Chelsea Dodgers. But take this with a pinch of salt. I got to see Jamie Gittens come on against Fluminense. And he did look promising from what I saw. I haven't seen him play a period of games, but you guys already know, like when you see a player play live versus in person, or in person versus like on the TV, you see the game a little differently. You see the little details. And with Jamie Gittens, although he was playing like a center forward on the left side, kind of switching between 10 and left, I can see why they want him. He's that Noni profile of like, I'm going for the goal. Like I'm beating my man.
He's going to take a shot.
Yeah. Like he almost wants to, like, he's not looking to create, he's looking to score a goal. You know what I'm saying? Like he's aggressive in terms of how he goes at the defenders and trying to dribble and stuff. So I see why they're going for him. Is he worth the price tag? Based on the stats, I'm going to say no. I think 40 or 45 million pounds,
I agree with that.
I think is more than enough for the player.
Yeah.
And Dortmund should know that, but they're being a little greedy about it.
Especially if we don't ask for like a loan fee for, let's say, Carney, and we're like, yo, how about this?
Thank you. I was just about to say
like,
that.
Here's 45 million. Here's straight up 45 million or 40 million, and Carney's no loan fee for him. You know, like,
yeah,
like, you know, you cover his wages, or we'll cover like 30% of his wages on top of that. Like, you know, give him.
But that's why I keep bringing up Carney, because I feel like surely we can use that as leverage for this deal, right? Like, and again, like Carney looked good. Like Carney came on and he did more than Jamie did, but Carney was playing more of a midfield role, right? So he wasn't losing the ball. Like,
Is Carney gonna get it ahead of Joe? Because Joe's been playing and he's been playing well. He got man of the match for like Jude's younger brother.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
That's why I'm saying this. Because he got man of the match like last game or the game before.
If
Very
Carney can
similar
stay
position.
fit, there's a possibility they both play in the same team, in the same lineup.
Yeah, like he could
If
be
he
the
stays
10.
fit.
And, yeah, if Carney's the 10 and Job is the 8, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, or vice versa. Really, like they can interchange. I think, and if Build is coming out and saying they're trying to negotiate a loan, and that tweet wasn't too long ago. Like, let me look it up. Like it was today.
Today. Yeah.
Yeah, Build the.
I don't know how credible Build is though, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how credible they are, but I don't think they're like the Mirror. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, or the Sun, I should say. So like I think they do want to loan out the player. And he did have good cameos last season.
When he wasn't injured, yeah.
When he wasn't injured, exactly. If he could stay fit, then listen, I mean, we have a release clause. At any point he could get sold. Sure, a team can come in for it. But like, if we could use him as leverage, he's in the Club World Cup right now, so we negotiated like to extend the loan. We're doing Dortmund favors because they know we want Gittens. So like,
Yeah,
Dortmund, stop being dickheads.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I
you
agree.
know,
Just be like, hey, here's no loan. Here, how about this? Out of his 100K he earns a week, we'll cover 30K and no loan fee. But we know we get Gittens for 45 million instead of 55 million, or 40 million instead of 50 million, or whatever.
You know what, CP? I'm starting to realize maybe we should be the directors.
Well, it's apparently these directors make it seem harder than it is at times.
While they're talking to each other, it seems pretty reasonable. It seems like a good deal.
To be honest, it's like they're good at scouting, right? We've talked about how they scouted some decent players, but they never execute. So maybe we can be better at executing.
Fuck you, Gextel. Screw you guys.
We can
protest about it then. If you don't want us to be the directors, protest about it.
Yeah, hey, and just like this ownership, even after you protest, we're still gonna buy a 16-year-old from Brazil.
Yeah, I mean, there's one that I wanted to talk about, but we ran out of time. It's no big deal. But yeah, listen, I think there must be a way. There must be a way. That's a good point to Demon Nat. But there must be a way that we can use Carney, that we can leverage something with Dortmund, and we can get this player for cheaper, because I'm not liking the price I'm seeing for him. I'll be so honest with you.
That's the biggest thing for me. Like, if he was like you were saying 40 million, you know what? 35 to 40 million, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's a decent player, but yeah.
Yeah, that's I'm okay with. And at the end of the day, I know it's not my money. Like, I shouldn't give a fuck, but that's also the whole point of
it adds to the pressure, right? That's the thing. The price also adds to the pressure. That's why we also rated Neto season not that great, because we got him for 65 million.
It's not even that. It's just like, to me, it's more so like you were really willing to pay this much for Gittens, but not for Maignan. So you're willing to put us through Robert Sanchez.
Yeah. Oh, it's not even. No, it's not even paying the money. I'm pissed that they're willing to meet them at the price that Dortmund want them to be at, which is the reason they said no to Maignan.
It's like,
you get what I'm saying? Like, based on today's report of them being fine with the 55.3. So then I remember some content creators like Jimmy and everyone was saying, hey, I'm fine with us not going for Maignan because we didn't want to meet AC Milan's price point that they were asking for, right? And we were negotiating and we couldn't meet the price point, so we had to leave the deal. Okay, but then if you're meeting the price point for Gittens, if the reports are true, let's say if we buy him, we'll see what the final number is. If you meet him at close to the price range that they're asking for, then it defeats the point of Maignan. That's where I'm pissed at. Right? It's like the hypocrisy. Once again, it's the inconsistency. That's the problem with them. It's like they don't even abide by their own rules. They're inconsistent about what their own thing is.
Yeah, Demon Nat, I hope you're right. We'll see. At the end of the day, we'll see what the actual deal ends up being, because I do think this deal is going to get done.
You get their money though. Dortmund do whatever they ask for. They usually get Sancho, Jude.
Like usually when they sell a player, they get him for.
I'm sure there'll be a good structure. Like if you want to pay 55, but there's like you're paying 40 up front and then the rest are add-ons, I'm cool with that too.
Yeah,
just don't pay
fine.
55 straight up.
Yeah,
like,
or even 50 plus 5. I don't fuck you. I don't want to pay 50 million.
Yeah. Like I just think it's ridiculous to pay that much for the player. Like if you want to do it via add-ons and stuff, so be my guest. Or amortize it. Well, it's a 7-year, right? So I'm sure you can amortize it.
You can't amortize it past 5 years anymore. Remember? Because it.
Oh, okay. So it'll at least be amortized for 5 years.
Only for 5 years now, because UEFA closed that loophole last summer.
Yeah, true. But I do think it's a good player there. For me, it's more so like, motherfucker, if we win the next round of Club World Cup, then bro, we have Magnan money right there. Like, why are we?
Yeah, no, that's literally Delap plus Magnan money. That's literally
exactly.
We paid off Delap, and now if you count Kepa sale plus round of 16, and if we pass round of 16 and go to quarterfinals,
that's a good point, and that's the other.
That's literally Magnan's money straight up front that AC Milan is asking for.
And that's the other thing too, and this is where I'm getting annoyed with these directors, bro. This window's been open now for about a week and a half.
Yeah.
Other than Kepa, where are the other outgoings? We have 40 something more to make.
Like,
stop watching Club World Cup. Stop watching Club World Cup and get deals done. All right?
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking for. Just get these deals done. Get these players gone. Get them over to other teams already. Like, there's no reason
at least the ones that aren't part of the squad right now, like the ones that aren't, like
Sterling,
João Felix,
Vega, Felix. Like, there's so many players. Like, bro, the window's open again. Like, there should have at least by now been. And I know I sound like, oh, you're so impatient, all this and that. Listen,
like you're telling me no Serie A club is going for Vega after him having a decent, and because it's not like we might be asking for stupid, like I don't know, we could be, but we only bought it for £12 million. Or no, even less than that. I think it was like £8 million. So like even if we get, I think 25 million, which Serie A clubs can still afford, they're not that fucking cheap. Then I think we'll be fine for selling it for 20 to 30 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just
so
it's just
I agree with you.
Yeah, let's see what happens, man. But all right, cool. We'll keep everyone posted on Gittens and stuff. We'll be back again. Today's Thursday, so Friday is gonna be a
Saturday's the game.
Tomorrow. Saturday's the game, so we'll be back on Saturday to react to that. Sunday will an important game too. Yeah, it's a big point. Sunday we'll be back with a Casually Chelsea show. More news. Hopefully, here we go for Gittens already, and maybe a cheeky Magnan. Here we go. Who knows? But smash up the like buttons, people. It does help out the channel tremendously. Over 100 of you guys are watching and only 50 likes. I know you guys can do better, so go ahead. Hit that like button. It's as simple as clicking one button, and it's free. Helps out the channel. So look, there's other ways to help out the channel as well. You can subscribe, which is another thing you should do. That's free. And if you want to be extra generous, you can join the membership. There's 3 different tiers starting at 99p, or 4 different tiers starting at 99p. I'm sorry. And at the second tier, the proper casual tier, you get perks like shout outs. So those are going to go out to Daniel, TM127, EE, Dark, Adrian, and A Solomon. Hey guys, remember those names. Those are the legends. They're achieving legendary status. So big up to you guys for being proper casual members. We're gonna give you a Chelsea pitch owners plaque one day. So, or casually pitch owner plaque one day.
Yeah, the Chelsea one costs a good chunk of change. So.
casually pitch owners. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I need to leave. I'm losing my mind. We're rating out
the CPO? Okay, the CPO. Okay, I get you.
We're going to rate out to Football Carnage. He's going to do a watch along for Real Madrid. Hala Madrid, I guess. We're going to... Trent Hate Watch, people. So copy and paste the raid message right here. Let him know where you're coming from, and as always, people, we appreciate you being here. We'll be back again soon, and until then, stay casual, peace, and since Ahmed's not here, Tuchel in.
Keeps